What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're doing it. It is the last stream of the year. It's been an incredible year. It's been a busy year. It's been stressful. It's been fun. And I wanted to bring some friends of the channel on and review 2022 and how it went for them. All of these people are very, very good friends of mine. I've worked with them for a while now in many different facets of creativity, of life even. And, they're all freelance creatives, very much like yourselves. So I want to talk to these guys and kind of pick their brain about how their year went and what they do to plan for 2023, because I think it's very, 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 very important to take time to reflect on how the year's been so that we could better prepare ourselves for the next year. But we're going to be chilling. We're going to be hanging out today. There's no art today. We're just having a good time. We got a lot of people in the chat. Edge, I see you. Yeah, amazing. We got some good artists up in here, guys. So let's switch over. Let's introduce our guests. Let's get right into it because we're hanging out today. All right. Yes. What an awesome group of people. Man. All right. So first up here, you all know Winbush. You guys, if you're, looking at any Unreal Engine tutorials, Cinema 4D, you got a whole bunch of stuff, Winbush. It is awesome to have you, man. Thank you so much for coming down.
I appreciate you, brother. Ready for this live stream we got today. I got my fake Game Boy that I got from Five Below ready to go. We want to check this out at all, but yeah, we're ready to rock.
Wait, what the heck? Dude, I got so many questions and we got a lot to talk about. We also have,
definitely.
For the very first time, Mr. Adam Orfali, who goes by Feverkin. You guys may know him as Feverkin, the musician. Dude, what a treat. What is good, my guy?
Hey, greetings. Honor to be here.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Adam, he's been making music for a very long time, but dude, you crushed the alternate realities 3D challenge montage as well as the moving meditations music, dude. Oh man, it's the music and the renders, they come together so perfectly, man. That was incredible.
Thanks. Yeah, it was easy to be inspired. The artwork was insane.
Too true. And finally, we got Mr. Sotomonte himself for the very first time. Like, you've seen him pop in, but he's the stream producer. He's one of the main moderators on the server. It's good to have you, Soto. What's good, man?
Indeed, yeah. I'm feeling as nervous as I expected, not more, which is good.
Let me see those wrists. Hold up those hands. Let me see those hands.
No. Actually, you can kind of see it. Yeah,
I get nervous too. Man. The streams are always like, I don't know. It's live. It's like, yeah.
It's like a good nervous. It's like a mix of excitement, just anticipation. So good. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So we're all gonna be chilling today. We got a bunch of awesome people here in the chat. You guys have been with us the entire year. Thank you for stopping by these streams. If you have any questions, just hit us with @somebody. If you have a question for someone in here, okay? For either one of us. And we'll do our best to answer your question. We're gonna be hanging out today and chatting about the year. So, this is a question to all you guys. Like, it's like the biggest question. How was your year? It's a lot.
Yeah, who wants to kick it off?
Winbush, go for it, man. You got it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. My year was, I would have to say, it's pretty good. Like, I came into this year with a bunch of milestones that I wanted to hit. I probably only missed one of those milestones, but that's something we could get into more into the show. But I would say for the most part, my year's been pretty good, especially with all the conferences opening back up, doing a lot of travel, getting to meet a lot of you guys out there, a lot of the artists, NAB, SIGGRAPH, went up to Vancouver, hopefully going to make it to Asia in 2023. So yeah, the traveling part has been great this year.
How do you balance being on the move like that and then also making a bunch of tutorials and doing work outside of that?
Yeah, not a lot of sleep. For the most part.
Oof.
I don't know. Once I get something in my head, it's just hard to not see it to the very end, if that makes any sense. So like if I have like a tutorial idea, it's like I can't stop until I bang it out. Or, if I have client work, usually I take on client projects that inspire me. And so it's like I want to see that through to the end. So it's hard for me to like stop my work hours 9 to 5. It's like I want to see this thing through. So I'm just always like full steam ahead.
Yeah, I could be very, very similar. It is tough. Being on a schedule, like running a YouTube channel, you got a schedule and you post a whole lot. I know, Adam, you release music. That's your thing, right? So like, it's very similar. It's obviously a creative field, and your like how well you do is kind of based off of how the audience enjoys it, right? Like that's a lot of pressure. How do you manage that, Adam?
I've learned it's more about how you manage your expectations, and I mean, at this point, it's kind of like the system I have in place kind of permits me the luxury to kind of like take the time and make sure I like what I'm releasing. Or, if there's a deadline, of course, you got to meet the deadline, but you just show up and you apply. You do the best you can, and that's what you do. You do the best you can, and you trust that your intuition that you've acquired throughout, working on your craft is serving you every step of the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I feel personally like I've been moving, and Adam, we talked about this, but like I feel like with the schedule, it's so tough to foresee what, the next quarter is going to look like, or even the next video, because I'm so focused on what I'm doing at this point, and it's hard to like, it's hard to innovate. I feel like I've been kind of on autopilot this year a little bit, just doing what I know I can do well, because I got to do it within a quick turnaround, and that's.
Oh yeah, it's very relatable, I think, for a lot of creative people. I mean, you kind of figure out something that works, and once the ball starts rolling, it kind of can be hard to stop it and like re-examine the ball that's even rolling, because you do have to sometimes take a pause if you want to experiment or pivot in a different direction. And I don't know, sometimes that is kind of scary to do that.
Absolutely, especially when you're like, the bills come in based off of the work that you do that people like, and you're like, well, shoot, if I'm trying to switch it up, like, are people gonna enjoy this? Are they gonna watch this? Am I gonna be able to survive? It's tough.
That's right. Yeah, it's very silly, very, very real thoughts at the same time. Yeah.
So
I feel like you were able to do some cool stuff this year, though, like with the photogrammetry work. I felt like that was kind of a pivot in the experimental realm that you were able to kind of take it and make it your own. And I feel like, excuse me, I feel like the community kind of reacted to that pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think switching it up is nice. As far as the photogrammetry stuff, I love it. It's a chance for me to get outside too and scan some rocks, scan some trees, etc. And I'm really excited to do more of that stuff next year and see how that pushes my art. But Mikhail, let me hit you up. You recently you moved, and you're in university right now.
Yeah, right. This year has been like the biggest pivoting thing for my like career. I don't know if I should call it career or more like creative. I don't know. But basically, at the very start of the year, I was still doing an engineering degree, and I was not enjoying it. Like I could, I could keep doing it, but at the same time, I was starting to get the ball rolling in getting some freelance, and which I was very excited for. I had already gotten a bit of it, but now it was like, more stable, I guess, in time. And so at the end, I decided to just leave that, and I it's like a whole thing. I moved to a different city, living by myself. I have a roommate, and it's like on the university campus, so it's been pretty easy. But still, it's like far from family, meeting new people, far from the old friends. But yeah, I'm really happy. So big year, yeah.
That's amazing. It's like a huge change in your life. Like I never had the college experience, and I definitely wish like part of me wishes I had that. I think I kind of got it when I came out here to LA with Freddie and San Benito. It was very
Yeah,
similar.
I was gonna say that feels pretty university or college
minus like
from YouTube.
having dorm rooms and stuff. But
Yeah, you got your education in a totally different way, man.
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important that like all of us, every creative person out there finds a group of people that they can hang out with and learn from and grow with. And Mikhail, like you're getting that in school, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I had like a big chunk of that I already had online, of course, meeting you, a lot of people in your Discord, or in different places. But yeah, like meeting them in person, it's a bit different, because one thing I found out is I need to find like new hobbies, because before when I wanted a break I would do 3D art, but now that's what I'm doing in school. So like I need new hobbies, or
Yeah.
just watching movies with friends, but different stuff, because if I just do the same that I was doing before for a break, I'm just not taking a break anymore. But
Yeah, too true. I mean, Adam, like I remember you telling me, oh, you can't listen to music when you're not
You
making
can't
music.
listen to music when you're listening on. Dude, two bummers about going into music as a job is you can't listen to music while you're working on music. And yeah, sometimes listening to music or working on music after working on music is not the vibe either. So, at least for me.
Yeah,
When-
no, I got the
yeah.
same thing when I was in school. I went to the Art Institute for my degree, and I got it in motion graphics and VFX. So we would go through, learn about compositing and special effects and things of that nature. So as I was watching movies when I was in university, I got the same thing. It's like, instead of enjoying a movie, I was literally breaking down every single shot, like, oh, I see where they messed up on the rotor there, or I
Yeah.
see like the lighting is kind of messed up in that area and the shadow should be hitting this certain area. And it got to the point to where people didn't want to watch stuff with me. So I kind of learned to readjust and just enjoy like movies and TV shows for what they were, instead of trying to like analyze every single thing that came up on the screen, because it was driving everybody around me crazy every time I pointed something out.
That's hilarious. It's like when you're in, you can't be out. You're always in.
Yeah,
It's tough. Yeah.
So all right, Andra wants to know what our biggest achievements of the year are, and like this stream is not for that. We're gonna answer your question, right? We're gonna answer your question because I think it is nice to reflect. Like I just don't want to be like, oh, like I'm the best, blah 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 blah. I want to focus on like what I could do better for next year and like what the hardest parts were. We're gonna get into that, but I also think, Andra, you are correct. We got to focus on the wins as well. So let's go through everybody. We'll start with Winbush. We'll go to Adam, Mikhail, and myself. What is the thing that you're most proud of this year, Winbush?
Two things. 100% getting out my free course on Unreal Engine 5, because previously, I don't know if anybody knows, I did a course that was a paid course with the mograph.com guys, and it was a good course for Unreal Engine 4, but the main thing that like tore me up was it was around $250. So like in the United States and first world countries, yeah, that wasn't a lot of money, but I would have a lot of people from other areas of the world hit me up saying like, hey, I can't afford $250. Like that's my 2 months income, and I really want to take your course. And so I got to talking with Epic Games. I got a mega grant, and I was able to release a course this year absolutely free for everybody through my YouTube channel. So that was something that really meant a lot to me, because now everybody has access to that free education. So that was something that I was most proud of. And then the second one, I got invited down by Epic Games to speak at their conference in New Orleans this year. So that was pretty cool, because I've spoken a lot to the motion graphics community, but never to like the gaming community, and I have an affinity for video games, so being able to go on the main stage down there with Epic Games and just interact with a whole nother community that's out there, I mean, that was amazing in itself. So I would say those two things right there.
Heck yeah, dude. That's huge. That's huge. And that's a lot of work to get to that point too. Especially that course, my goodness. And
Yep.
I mean, and to speak on the main stage too with Epic, that's like a lot of work goes into getting to that point. So that's really cool that you were able to get there this year. And I'm excited to hear what we have planned for 2023. But Adam, what would you say was your biggest achievement of this year?
This year was kind of more of a sabbatical type of year for me. So Mikhail, I can relate to like moving to a totally whole new area and trying to like grow your roots with like new people and trying to find new hobbies and stuff like that. So lots of personal things I'm super proud of. But on the music front, really stoked with how Moving Meditations turned out, and played my first show in 3 years. So that was
nice.
super
Oh,
rad.
nice.
Yeah, it was it was like blowing the dust off the gears kind of thing.
Did it feel good to be like, I still got it?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Were you nervous getting back out there? Because it's your first show because of the lockdown, right? So did it feel like you're like, is muscle memory, like you're able to jump right back into it? Or did you kind of get like nervous again? Like, man, how do I kind of navigate?
It's always
this and get back into
nerve-wracking
it?
up until the first moment. Like as soon as the first second of sound is played, like all stage fright goes away for me.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Yeah, the way my sets are done right now is like with a MIDI controller, so at least I don't have to worry about timing and all the virtuoso of playing the instrument perfectly correctly and stuff like this.
But you got to hit those right triggers at the right time though, because then
Oof, it be true, dude.
oof, brutal. Now I'm gonna press Adam, because I said biggest achievement of the year. That doesn't mean it has to be career based. You said you got a lot of personal stuff. Are you to be continued another time, or do you want to elaborate on any of those personal achievements? You can hit me with a to be continued, and then we'll go on to Mikkel. Maybe it comes up later.
It'll probably come up naturally later in conversation, so let's hit it with the to be continued.
All right, sounds good. Mikkel, biggest achievement of the year for you, both or either personal or work related.
Yeah, I upgraded to Windows 11. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, did you really? Because I still have it.
I did, yeah.
I know,
no,
we're keeping
but-
it at bay, dude.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
in all seriousness, it was probably just taking the decision to switch the university degree, because I thought a lot about it. Luckily, I like good friends in my city also were like, no, you should change. So probably that. What about you, Clint?
Side note, those are some good friends who would be
Yeah,
like, yo, it's you should go. You should go. It's gonna be better for you. Dang, that's legit. Keep in touch with those guys. For me, oh man. Wow. This is crazy because I hadn't even thought. I never think about the past. I'm like, as soon as I finish something, I'm just like, what's the next thing? I'm trying to remember what the heck happened this year. I guess we have 2 challenges every year. Dude, both of those challenges, putting out those montages, the top 100 montages, and even the all renders montages, like, man, those are some big moments. It's such a great representation of everyone's art, all the hard work that went into it. I'm really proud of piecing together the top 100 and working with the different musicians. I got to work with, of course, Adam, this year for Moving Meditations, and like going back and forth and hearing your music come in and being like, oh, this is gonna be good. I know it's like still in like the demo phase, or like it's not mixed yet, but this is gonna be nice. Like that's so freaking awesome. I like seeing something come together like that. Is a huge moment for me. And I got to also work with Miles Senzaki too, Point Lobo. He did a really cool piece of music for Infinite Journeys. So it was cool, like getting to work with different artists, and kind of learn how to collaborate on a different level, you know, because it's not the same when you work with someone you've always worked with. Like when you work with someone new, it's a whole new journey, and I love that. It feels very fresh. Let's see.
Didn't something big happen this year, Clint?
Oh yeah, I turned 31 and hit 1 million subscribers on my birthday. That was crazy. That was a freaking crazy moment. Is that what you were referring to?
No.
Oh my god, I got married this year.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot.
That's the second thing you done.
Don't be mad, please. I'm sorry.
So I hope she don't see that. I didn't hear
Skip that part. No, she heard it.
I was checking on Instagram just to check if it was this year or not.
See, you didn't know it. You didn't remember. You had to check.
I was
It's
pretty
funny
sure,
you
but I'm like,
So it's funny. The
Just in
first
case
thing you
you-
went to was your 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Then you're like, oh yeah, I got married.
nah, it's my fault. I said something big. That's like the number. It's fine.
Thank you. But yes, I got married. That was crazy. I was not expecting. Everyone's like, oh yeah, the day you get married is like best day ever. Straight up best day ever. It absolutely insane. Adam, you were my best man. That was a solid speech. You referenced Resident Evil 4. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna turn this question around, and we're gonna say, what's the thing that you guys are trying to change for next year? Mikkel, I'll start with you.
Let me think about it. Probably just balancing everything better. Just, like doing a bit more sports, caring a bit more about sleeping schedules, just having better. I know you're very organized. You always have like a calendar and then post-its with everything you need to do, and I want to do a bit more of that. Just
That's hilarious. You saying that I'm more organized, dude. I'm. I think that is good though. Yes, striving for organization is a solid thing. I used to be called Double Book Jones because I would say yes to one thing on this one friend group, and then like this other friend would be like, oh yeah, totally, and I would totally forgot that I had the other thing, and I would show up late to everything, and that sucked, and I became known for that, and that's not good. So
luckily for me, I kind of managed to, not double book and things like that. But it's just like it takes so much. Like I always have things I have to do in the back of my mind, so it's just like either doing them or having written down.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just be more chill.
yeah, get it out of your head onto something. I think that's solid. That's a solid goal. Anything else, or should we move on to Adam?
No, I think that's it.
What do you think, Adam? What's the thing that like you felt you could have done better this year, and like you're really trying to improve for next year? What would make next year the best for you?
Ooh, I would say consistency for me. Consistency and clarity of intention. Yeah. And when I say clarity of intention, I think it's just having a discipline of really sitting down and sifting through my thoughts to like figure out what it is I want to do, go forward with creatively, because I'm in this step now where I'm working on my next album while I'm juggling 2 EPs with 2 collaborative EPs with some other artists and vocalists.
It's a lot.
And the album is tough because there is no there's no feedback loop coming from other people. It's just like something where like it's only going to happen if I push forward through it. You know, like when you work on writing your own stuff, you know, there's sometimes it can just be a lot of resistance to just like sit down and show up sometimes. It's so easy to just get swamped with just doing other things, which still can be good and productive. But yeah, so I don't know, personal consistency, showing up for myself, and working on clarity of intention.
How do you do that? Like what?
For me, it's incorporating taking my meditation practice more seriously, taking my journaling more seriously, allowing myself to enjoy life more. Like, Mikhail, you're talking about that balance. 100%, very, very important, because we are the creative vessel, and you do have to take care of the vessel if you want the vessel to produce any fruit. So,
True.
I don't know. I just trying to live as authentic of a life as possible, and working 100% of the time for me is not an authentic life, but also going out and just doing things for fun all the time is also not my idea of an authentic life. So something I've been entertaining lately.
Here's the question. If you could, would you just go off and have fun and zero repercussions? Like, that's your whole life, is just going off and having a good time. Everything's taken care of, like rent, blah, blah, blah. Don't have to worry about it.
It comes down to how you define what a good time is, you know?
Just doing what you want in the moment all the time.
No, that sounds awful, actually. I think you will get to a very hollow place where you just feel like something is missing. Because doing what you want in every given moment is like staring at your feet while trying to go towards a destination. You have to look ahead to know where you're going. And I think always just indulging in your passions or whatever, your hobbies, I don't think that's going to actually get you anywhere. Of course, it's healthy to do at times, but living a life that I don't think is actually healthy or good or even happy in the long term, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, I feel like to be like fulfilled, you should be trying to achieve something, you know? And if you're always, I don't know, an easy example is on social media. It's just like, you know, like there's a reason why we fight being on our phones instead of creating personal projects. It's not like if you don't create personal projects, you're not gonna have a job or anything, but sometimes it's just, you know, hollow, as you said. Yeah.
That's a good point. I never thought about doing what you want as going through life with your head staring at your feet, because like in a way I do feel the same with like trying to keep up the schedule on the YouTube channel. The train is moving at full force, but I'm just laying one track ahead of it, one track at a time, and it's a panic and a stressful thing to like keep laying the one track, and I know there's a giant gap coming up in a couple months in the form of a giant 3D challenge. And like, you better figure that out, and like, you better get some tracks over that, because you better. And like, but I'm like, I don't have time. I have to keep doing these one tracks right here because the train's moving too fast. It's crazy. Yeah. But we'll get back to that.
I heard someone define, I don't know where I read it or where I heard it, but I heard someone say discipline is, now that I'm trying to say it, I'm going to forget it. Discipline is doing what you want, giving up. Oh, shoot. This is brutal. So annoying. Yeah, I bet someone in the chat might know where I'm going with it. It's like doing what you want most at the expense of what you want to do right now.
I think I get what you're saying.
Like
that doesn't feel right.
Long term versus short term is what you're saying?
No, there's supposed to be like a sub bass drop when it's said correctly. Like you're like, okay. Oh yeah, that's the truth. But I didn't say it right. But it's something like that. It's like giving up what you want now for what you want most.
Yeah. Okay. So
I mean, that sounds
small
pretty
sacrifice.
good. That sounds.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. Do you guys feel the sub bass drop a little bit?
I heard a little bit of it. Yeah.
little bit.
Okay, cool.
Winbush, we're gonna. I want to ask you the same question, but before we do, I gotta shout out my boy Devon Williams. He's in the chat today. So Devon, and Adam all grew up together in Georgia.
Oh, nice.
Devon's in the chat.
Devon's in the chat right now. He just hit us with a super chat too. That's amazing. Yeah,
Devon, hey there, dude.
we would just get together and like, dude, Devon's New Year's parties at his parents' place. Oh my god, those are the best. Those are the most wholesome parties. Like, jeez, man,
It
It's
truly was fun for the whole family.
that was the time that Brett body slammed a fire out of the lawn because the fireworks we were setting off were just too big, and Brett just went for it. That I will never forget that.
That's crazy.
Shout outs Devon. All right, Winbush. All right, so what are you trying to do for next year that you didn't quite hit the mark on this year? What would make next year the best year for you?
Yeah, I think instead of being so technical, working more on myself, like mentally and physically. Like pre-pandemic, I was actually in really good shape. I was want to actually start boxing for charity and stuff like that. And so once the pandemic hit, I kind of got into really bad habits, eating and being stationary because the gyms were closed for 2 years. And then this year, I canceled my gym membership and I built a gym in my backyard just because
Nice.
I was always jealous of like Muscle Beach up in Venice Beach, how they
Yeah.
work out outside and everything. So I built like a fully functional gym outside, been working out, been getting over some of my health problems because like during the pandemic, caught COVID and developed like a heart issue and stuff, but started working back out, getting back into that routine and actually overcame that. So no longer having to really take the medication and stuff like that. But
That's huge.
my eating habits are still kind of bad. So trying to bounce that out a little bit more because like my kitchen is literally right here. So it's just
Oh snap.
like you guys are talking about discipline, right? It's like kind of just putting those blinders up, being disciplined and kind of always realizing my goal every time I want to, snack on something unhealthy. And yeah, just really trying to work on that and get back to where I used to be. But I think next year I'm just going to be more focused on myself, and especially with travel and stuff, like it's not like COVID's gone, I actually caught it going to New York. So it's like I want to make sure that I'm in the best physical peak that I could be in just in case I do get sick. It's easier to fight off those diseases and stuff rather than, if I'm not in good shape,
Dude, 100%. Yeah, I think our health is everything. It's kind of like Adam, you're talking about that vessel. Like, how can we produce anything good or neutral, whatever? If our bodies aren't healthy. So that is a huge one. That's a big one for me too. Like, I feel like I neglected. I neglected a lot this year. Like the yoga, working out. I did a lot of rock climbing, but I definitely feel it from not doing yoga. Cause my buddy Cliff, he got me into yoga, and like so far into yoga that like we went to teacher training and everything. Me and my
I remember
wife.
you taught it at Camp Mugraft that one year.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And like I really like my buddy Cliff. He said he believes that yoga is the key to your youthfulness, and I'm like, dude, that makes so much sense. Because if you're, I think I was telling EJ this, like if you're 60 years old and you slip and fall, it's gonna happen, and you go into the deepest stretch of the last 40 years. Like, dude, you're tearing something. You are tearing something no matter what. But if you do yoga every week, then it's just like a Tuesday. So like that makes so much sense to me. So I really want to get back into the yoga routine, and I think the morning routine for me, I've really neglected it. I wake up and I make tea. Thank God, at least I make tea. I do some dishes, and then I get behind the computer and start working. And it's like that's too much, man.
I found that once you jump on a computer, it's almost like a death trap, right? Like once you're in it, then you get laser focused, and that's where time kind of just slips away. And so what I've been doing, like I typically wake up like 5, 6 in the morning, and behind this poster, I actually have a treadmill. So what I try to do is before I even turn on my machine or anything, I at least try to get in like a mile or two on the treadmill first thing in the morning, because I know once I jump on the computer, then that's going to be it for the next couple of hours. And it's hard to break yourself away from it. So I try to at least get that routine out of the way, try to get some steps in and everything. And while I'm on the treadmill, you know, it's like I could watch Netflix on my iPad, or I could check my emails from my phone and stuff like that. So it's like I'm still doing other stuff, but at least trying to get something going first thing in the morning always helps out, rather than jumping right on the computer and then it's almost like doomsday, right? It's like, okay, the next thing you know, it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you're like, shoot, I haven't done anything all day, like no moving around or anything.
Yeah, Adam,
Yeah,
you got quite a routine set up, right? Your morning routine.
Yeah, no, Winbush, totally, man. The routine's important because I can totally relate. I'd have a problem where sometimes I would wake up and the main problem for me would be the phone. Like I'd immediately just get on like social media or email. If not, I would just go straight to the computer, and then yeah, just like any especially like all the things for like my health, my mental health especially, would just get thrown out the window if I just like made a beeline to my computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the morning routine's definitely looking like waking up at the set time every time. So for me, that does take some willpower sometimes to wake up the same time every day. And yeah, yoga really helps a lot, not only physically but mentally as well, because it's a good space to just be with your body. And just having a yoga practice, it really is interesting, like how much it spills over into other facets of your life, just like the amount of awareness you have about yourself and just how you're feeling that day. And then yeah, journaling for me, making a habit of journaling every day has been probably one of the biggest game changers of my life, which is something I've journaled for a long time, since I was a teenager, right? Since I was a moody emo teenager. But now as an adult, like I'm making it a practice to intentionally do it every single day, as opposed to just when I'm feeling sad or super stoked or whatever. So a lot of my entries are kind of boring, but
I mean, they're not for anyone. They're right. They're for you.
Exactly, which is what makes it so powerful, is that you can get whatever thoughts that you didn't even know you were carrying sometimes, because you have to like get out all these like top level thoughts to get sort of the deeper level thoughts sometimes.
Just
but
like yoga, dude.
you can like yoga. Something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
what kind of
so.
yoga are you guys doing? I have a friend that's really into hot yoga, and he's like telling me every day, he's like, dude, you got to get in on this hot yoga, like it's going to change your life. And I've always I don't know, I've just always been reluctant to yoga because I'm not very flexible, but I've been trying to get back into running, because when I was when I was really in shape, like I used to do sprints down at the field a lot, and I tried it recently, and maybe like on the second sprint I pulled a hamstring like right away, and I'm like, man, I'm getting too old for this. Like I gotta really start getting into stretching, because that never used to happen before, and it's like as you get older, it's like, man, I was like, I'm trying, like in my head I'm still like 25, but my body's like, nah, not today. So I hit the sprint, pulled a hammy, hit the ground. I'm just like, man, I gotta take better care of myself.
Yeah, the muscles
like
get tight.
Yeah.
If you don't tend to them.
Yeah, it's
like I was gonna. No,
you got it. We hadn't heard from you in a minute, Mikael. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that you guys have it pretty figured out. For me, it's just like more general. I'm like, yeah, I should do more sports, but I like haven't really done any like concrete plan. I want to do that. Also, I wanted to ask, Adam, do you find yourself coming back to the things you write, or is it just because of the process of writing it that's helpful?
I mean, when I get to the end of a journal, I think it's kind of nice to go back through and see the patterns, sometimes see the things that have been unresolved, or just like any themes that have been showing up in my life. So to answer your question, yes. But that's more something to like do towards the end of each journal for me.
Cool.
I don't think I've ever gone back and read a journal of mine. And I think that's probably the same reason I never look back ever. And I don't think that's a good thing. Like, I think the only time I look back is probably at the end of the year when I'm like reflecting on the year. But like, I can only gauge my year in terms of like projects, because I don't know, like time is just out the window. And it's like, when did that happen? I have no idea. Like, Adam, did we go to Alaska this year, or was that last year?
That was last year.
Dang. See, like I'm trying to think like what project I was working on at that point, because I have no sense of time anymore. It's just my head is so freaking, I'm so zoomed in. I gotta zoom out. We were getting into, I'm trying to get my train of thought back here, because Mikhail, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, go for a minute there. Was that it?
Morning routines. We were talking morning routines. Yeah, like Mikhail, do you have any morning routine situation going on? Like, or are you just living that carefree life, that university life?
I mean, okay, so luckily I have university at like 8 or 9 every day in the not except the weekend. So at least I have that to keep me in check.
Yeah.
And since I'm in the uni campus, I'm like super duper close, so I always end up like cutting it right to the line. But some days what I do is I eat breakfast before class, and other times I do it in between classes. So no, it's pretty messy as a routine, I think. But I mean, I'd rather have a good afternoon routine, to be fair. Like if I'm just like productive after class, I'm happy. But yeah.
Wait a second. You are in Spain, right? So you guys have like that half day break, that siesta life going on?
Dude,
is that a thing?
my okay, so now that I'm going to VFX school, or however you want to call it, I really quickly switched to the English class, so I have a lot of friends from other places. Everyone the first month was like, "Oh, dude, you do the siesta? You do the siesta?" I personally don't like it too much.
Why?
But it just breaks my day, like okay, I like sleeping and I like being awake, but the in-betweens are like, ugh, I need to do my whole like, now I go to bed, I close my eyes, I think for a bit until I fall asleep, and when I wake up I'm a bit foggy and I have to just like start being awake. I'd rather just do it once a day than twice.
Oh, so like I guess I don't know much about it. So like you literally are like, all right, I'll see you guys after this nap. Like that's what it's like.
It's just a nap. Yes, it's a siesta is just a nap after lunch. That's it.
How long is the nap for, or how long is the break for?
Depends on the person, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, is there like
Just means-
corporate? Is there corporate naps? Like
No.
Like
Corporate naps. Trademarked
No.
naps.
Oh, that's funny though. In a freaking mattress company, they're like, okay, siesta time, and then you check the good one.
Don't some
Yeah, yeah,
businesses observe siestas? Like the owners will take the nap, so the business will close at certain times during the day. Yes.
That might happen. I'm kind of, I don't know if this affects it really, but I'm kind of from the north of Spain where it's less hot, so maybe that affects it, because like, in the summer you might be more like after lunch, all your blood goes to your stomach to digest, and you're like oh, in the sofa. But I don't know. Maybe in other places of Spain they do more siestas than where I'm from.
Yeah, we need to do them here.
dude, I'd be down.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
Well,
down.
I mean, I do it myself anyway, but when I used to work at studios, it would have been nice to take a midday nap, especially if you have like a heavy lunch. It always gave me food coma. You just like
Yep.
go back to work kind of drowsy. So having like that little power nap would have been good.
So I want to ask you guys a question about like self-employed, working from home, freelance life kind of thing. So one thing that's been a struggle for me this year is separating the work-life balance, and like I always felt that I was pretty good at doing that, but this year I was not. And I would get this feeling where like, maybe you guys feel the same, but I'll get this feeling where there's so much to do to improve the channel, to improve the business, to improve the videos. There's always way more to do than not. So cutting it off at a certain point, knowing this list is freaking massive. It's like Santa's freaking list, dude. It's like it goes to the floor, and
It never ends.
it never ends, dude. It's never ending. Like, how I have trouble stepping away from that list and taking a break, because like there's just too much that needs to happen. And maybe it's a thing where it's like I just need more help. I can't do it alone. And I'm like trying to get there a little bit. Like Sotomonte, you know, you've helped with the streams. That's been, oh my god. I got some help in some other areas too, which has been helpful. But like, I don't know. It's like this massive list that never ends. And it would just make me feel better if I just kept working on that list as opposed to taking a break. I don't know. Do you guys feel similar?
Yeah, for me, so either what happens is if the list is short, like let's say this week I only have like 2 to 10 things to do, it's like really chill. I can just get through it. But if I see that the list is too big, sometimes I get like blocked and I just procrastinate even the first step, if that makes sense. And then if I have too many things to do, sometimes then it's fine because I'm like, oh, it's infinite. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna, like, at that point, it's not even a list, you know? But a lot of the times I just get blocked if the list is too big. So, yeah.
What about you guys?
Yeah. I kind of, because like I've been doing this really, really long time. And like, as you were alluding to, it seems like the list never ends, no matter what. Like, you can have that list, but there's never any goal line in sight. Like, I usually try to make like yearly milestones that I like to hit, but for the long haul, especially like, you know, we're all entrepreneurs, we all work for ourselves. And so the grind is never going to end. You know, it's like once you get to one milestone, there's always going to be something else that you want to kind of achieve. And for me, I kind of got more into this mentality of just go with the flow. And so that's how I was able to kind of get that stress off my shoulders, because it's like, I know I get stuff done and I'm going to get it done. But at the same time, you can't grind your body into the ground, because it's like once you get sick or, you know, like if anything happens to you, then everything that you have set out on your list, that's not, you know, you can't achieve that anymore, because now you're in a physical state where you can't physically do it anymore. Whether, like, I've had a buddy in VFX, I don't want to say his name, but he was working nonstop on like TV shows and big movies, and he would never ever take a break. And he was, you know, he's wearing his body down, and the doctors, you know, they kind of told him like, you're under too much permanent stress all the time, you need to kind of take a break. And unfortunately, he ended up having a stroke a couple of years ago because of it.
Oh my goodness.
And now he can't do any work at all, right? Like, he's in rehab trying to relearn how to walk and do, you know, simple stuff that we take for granted. So when that happened to him, I'm like, I can't keep living like under this constant pressure all the time. Like, you kind of have to get out of that mindset of having that constant pressure on you and kind of alleviate that. And, you know, whether it's through you taking on less, or like you were doing, you were getting more help to kind of alleviate that pressure off you, like those stuff are vital. But again, it's like, if you wear yourself into the ground, then that's all going to be for naught, because you're not going to be able to do anything, right?
Yeah, max out. And like I think I'm burnt out right at the end of the year. I think I've achieved burnout officially.
You got to take a break. I mean,
Yeah.
I told you, I think at the beginning of this year, I was under massive stress under this one TV show I was working on for History Channel, and it got to the point to where I was feeling it like in my heart. And after that, you know, like I went to see the heart doctor, and that's when I had that condition, but she was telling me, you know, it was due to too much stress and, you know, getting over COVID and stuff like that. So honestly, I took a big chunk of this year off. Like, I mean, I was blessed enough to have like a good savings, and be financially stable enough to be able to take a break. But once I took that break and then focused back on myself and only taking like client jobs here and there and focusing more just on like the YouTube channel and my health, now I'm back to a point to where like I don't have any heart conditions and the stress is pretty much alleviated. But it's like if I would have kept going, I could have seen myself honestly maybe having a stroke by the summer. Like it was that serious,
Wow. Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Oof.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people only think about like exercise and eating, but your mental stress plays a big part into how your body functions. Like if you're under constant stress, then that physically takes a toll on your body, whether you recognize it or not.
Yeah, 100%. Winbush, have you ever like emotionally burned out? If that makes sense. I know you're talking about like how you were feeling like the load, and if you kept going, you maybe would have experienced a stroke, maybe kind of like how your friend did. But
Right.
like in your experience, were you getting to a point where you were taking on so much work, you were working so hard that, how do I want to phrase this? It's like, it's a pretty dark place to get to where it's like, I don't like what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah, I would say that only hit me this year because, for the most part, like I get to work on cool projects, get to work with cool IPs, and, there's some stress there, but for the most part, it's like I always looked at the end goal is like, okay, I got to work on this movie, it's done, got paid, get to see your stuff up on the screen. And that was something that I used to, like strive for, like, okay, that's the cool end result. But for some reason, maybe it's because I'm coming out of lockdown, but the beginning of this year is when I finally felt like I was probably in that dark place to where it's just like, this is actual work. I'm not enjoying it. The producers are down my back and I'm stressed out and I need a break or else I don't know. Like I seriously thought about, is there another like road that I want to take outside of doing motion graphics? Like it got to that point. So that's, I took the break and no longer feel like that now. So I think breaks are really vital to us,
How long was your break?
I'm like, dang, I kind of feel similar right now. And
Yeah, what's the recipe?
So I finished that job in spring. And so I told all my clients I was going to take the summer off. I started doing work again, maybe around beginning of November. So that was the summer. So maybe about like 3 or 4 months, something like that. But like I still took on like small gigs in the meantime and, kept focusing on YouTube, was doing a course and stuff like that. But I would say, 3 to 4 months was a good, that was a good point for me. Some people, it might be different, but I've been working like 15 years straight nonstop. So definitely, needed that break there.
Awesome. Sorry, Clint, go ahead.
No, I'm like, where can I fit in 3 to 4 months? That's great. I think I need that, honestly. But it's like, oh, I don't want the channel to die, so
that's the tough part. Yeah, because I've seen streamers, Twitch streamers, and specifically like whenever they take a break, it's like their numbers dip. So I don't know if you watch any type of like streamers or anything like that, but I watch a lot of their interviews and they always say that too. Like there's constant pressure to always be streaming because once they don't stream, then it seems like their audience kind of jumps somewhere else. And so there's like that constant pressure of being able to try to bounce that.
Yeah, it's just not sustainable though. It's like how there's only so far you can go with that at a certain point.
It's not sustainable. We're all just individuals.
Yeah. It's not a freaking like whole team, it's like just one person, maybe a couple people with some help here and there, but
yeah.
Honestly, for me, this is great to hear. I'm sure for a lot of people in the chat, but because right now I'm like on the other side of the pendulum where I'm like really, really excited, I'm meeting new people, whatever. But I just want to not swing back super, like a lot. So I'm trying just to slow down a bit just to not get burnt out. Because I feel like if I get too excited now, I do too many projects plus school plus this plus that. I'm afraid that I might get burnt out in the future. So it's good to have in mind.
Yeah, I think it's still good to have that optimism and be excited, and you're still learning. And being able to take that on and I would say go for it, but just
Yeah.
always be cognitive that if you are feeling stressed or you are feeling burnt out, like take it serious, especially since you're young. Like don't wait 15 years like I did to where it got to that point. Like definitely take your breaks and work on yourself and just be cognitive of what's happening around you. Because it is very easy to just kind of get laser focused on what you want to achieve, but yeah, sometimes it's good to take a step back and kind of breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think I could see it as like finding your limit. Like you hit the ceiling, you're like maxed out, you break through the ceiling, and you're like, whoa, it's crazy out here. And then you're like, you take a break, and you're like, whoa, I'm not going past that ceiling again.
Right.
And then you do it again, and you just, I don't know, it's like a live and learn situation, I guess. But like I think this is the second time I felt like this. It's tough. Like working at Corridor is very different than running a YouTube channel. Very, 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 very different. And like there's ups and downs to both situations, but like I am missing the ups, like the like I just gotta show up to work and like have a good time and then come home and then like do whatever, like there isn't that anymore.
Yeah.
So
You feel like more is demanded of you now?
oh my god, dude, times
It's kind of a
freaking
leading question.
20 times everything. Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. It's
'Cause
unmanageable
when you're
on my own.
when you're at Corridor, you can feed off the energy of everyone you're working with. You can like have that feedback loop. But yeah, when you're on your own like that, you have to dig deeper into yourself for inspiration. And then definitely so important to take a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One thing
Yeah.
that I've tried doing, so taking my meditation practice more seriously, one thing I've tried this year on the topic of health is fasting. Actually, I've done.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing like intermittent fasting, or have you ever done like an extended fast?
I've done intermittent fasting in the past. That's something that I need to get back into, but it really works. It really does.
Dude, Adam, you
yeah.
tell them about how you freaking like healed yourself. That was insane.
Yeah, I used to have like a gluten and dairy intolerance, which was like so annoying to admit, but I would get like these gnarly rashes underneath my beard. And I did a week of not eating food. I just drank water for a week. And, I did my research before I just like decided to do that. But yeah, when I got back into eating food, like gluten didn't cause the rashes anymore.
That's so
Oh,
crazy.
wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that sounds janky, but I mean, if it
Yeah,
works-
But
right.
I would like to talk about fasting in a different regard, though, is that it's like a very, very quick way to get a lot of very sharp perspective on where you're at. I've done 2 fasts now. Actually, I did a 3-day fast this week. And then, I did that week-long fast back in January. And when I say fast, not only did I not do food, but I didn't even get on my computer. And it's just it's like aggro rest, basically. Like I was just really in bed the whole day. So it's like, a lot of contemplation. And when you break your fast, you definitely notice yourself doing things differently, feeling things differently. It's not just food. Like you're not just more sensitive to food, you're more sensitive to your own habits. It's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that type of fast before. I used to do intermittent fasting just for the long haul, where you would basically only have like an 8-hour window of eating. And so I was doing that, and that seemed to help out. But I don't know if I could do a whole week without eating. Like, what did you do to supplement, like for like your nutrition and stuff? Like, I know you said you drank a lot of
Nothing.
water. Like, did you
Just
drink
water. Yeah,
no
because
chicken broth or anything like that?
no calories at all. And
Mm.
like I said, I was just, scouring the internet, because it's basically the most ancient medicine, right? Like your body naturally knows how to draw off its own supply, because it burns like the glucose, like it's used to burning like carbs first, and then when it doesn't have carbs to burn, it'll move on to the next source. And your body will go into a state of ketosis where it's basically running off its own fat, and it's burning off its fat. And you do store like toxins in your fat, so it was pretty gnarly. Like on day 3, it felt like I came down with the flu. Like I felt like I was sick. But it's like my body was just detoxing. On day 5, I felt amazing, actually. Like I'm talking 5 days of not eating. Like I felt so good. I just wanted to go outside and go for a walk. I was like so stoked to just talk to strangers and everything. It was just a weird space to be in.
That's crazy. Yeah. We all have questions.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're first. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, was your day 3 where you felt really sick on your week-long fast? Did you feel the same way on your 3-day fast on your last day, day 3, all sick and stuff?
No, the 3-day fast was actually quite manageable the whole time, actually.
That's crazy.
The only thing I messed up on is that I ate a cracker to break my fast, and your body will forget how to process carbs. You have to be very, very gentle with your body when you come off of an extended water fast like that. Just one cracker. It was like that scene from Casino Royale where he gets his drink poisoned, and he's like walking through the casino, and he like just like slams the salt down in the bathroom. It was like that off of just like one tiny little cracker.
Wow,
that's crazy,
yeah.
Dude. Jeez. All right, you guys had questions. Apologies.
I was just going to say, like, when you're doing your week fast, did you do any type of like physical activity at all, or did you pretty much just like lay up for that entire week?
More or less, I laid down. Like I said, on day 5, I did want to just like go outside and go for a walk. Not like a power walk or anything. I was really, really being easy on my body. But it's definitely very, very deep healing your body will go through. I think I see Devon. I know Devon, you probably would know maybe more than I would, but like your body goes into this thing called autophagy, where it kind of like eats its own like cells that aren't really up to par. It kind of like is a spring cleaning for your body, or like defragging your body,
Nice.
so to speak. So yeah, I don't know. I highly recommend it. Obviously, I think, you probably should consult with a medical professional. I don't want to give medical advice here on the stream. I did it personally. And I like, yeah, exactly.
Winbush, whoever, Mikkel, Winbush, if you guys want to do, like, I'm down for a 3-day thing. I've done a 3-day juice cleanse before, and that was like maybe a good start to the fasting life. It's manageable. It's not just water, and then maybe you go from there. But I'd be down. It's probably more fun with friends.
I do want to do
down for a 3-day one.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. I just was saying I would do a 3-day one. Maybe just to start with, and then maybe try to slowly get into a week. But yeah, down for that.
Yeah, for not eating, I'm a bit reluctant because I'm already too skinny for my height, I think. Like, I don't know. I don't remember the word, but it's like a number you give your height and your weight, and it's like, oh, you're too skinny or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Your BMI, your body
BMI.
mass index. Yeah.
Right. So I probably just want to gain weight and do, exercise. But I do want to do a technology less week or something whenever I have a break. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm down.
And I've heard this in a lot of places. It's like you always think you're missing so many things. Like, in reality, if one day I don't check my phone, okay, I'll have a ton of notifications, and maybe like 2 friends have messaged me about something important at most, but it's not like you're actually missing many things, So I don't know. That last time my phone broke, I waited a week before buying the next one just to see, and it was like pretty chill. So I might do that, but when I get a break, of course.
Yeah, that sounds super nice. I'd be down for that.
I know when we did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say, I know when we did Camp Mugraft, that was pretty much like a technology fast away from everything. More because, well, I didn't go this year, but the previous year in Portland, we literally got like no phone reception or anything out there, so you were kind of forced to be off of your stuff. And
It's the best.
I remember like every artist pretty much coming back feeling rejuvenized, because it's just like you took that 4 or 5 days away from all technology, and now you're like feeling more creative and just ready to go. So I think maybe a technology detox is something that more people should do, because we're just so enamored with, even if you're not on your computer, you're always on your phone. So you always have some type of like screen shooting pixels at your eyes, which probably can't be good for your brain.
Nah, it's not natural. I mean, certainly not.
Yeah.
I mean, it is good, but not as much. I feel like there's a lot of good things to get out of, especially computers. For me, the problem is more my phone than my computer. But yeah,
Yeah, I was talking specifically for like the pixels to the eyeballs, but yeah, no, I think that would be sweet, and building in more of those things next year for me, I think is a good positive thing that I should definitely be doing.
Say document it for your channel. Maybe that could be something that you like put up there one week, just like your detox that you went through and how you're feeling each day, and you know, that type of stuff.
That's very interesting. I'd never considered that, but you know, maybe that...
I was watching a bunch of those videos during my week fast. Is like people, yeah. So documenting their detoxes, documenting like technology detoxes, their food detoxes. So
can you document a technology detox? Like, can you do that? Like, can you do that?
you're just filming in a film camera.
Yeah,
Hello,
so
guys.
take it back to analog.
maybe a clumsy choice of words there, but yeah, they're like they came back and just like shared their experience.
Oh, that's legit. That's fun to me. I love that. Like, I don't just love 3D challenges. I love physical challenges, mental challenges. Like, I did this thing one time where I didn't talk for a weekend, but like I still went out to like order food, and like I went to the spa too, and I like, you know, just lived life normally, and it was crazy. It was so cool, like, because I was living with my roommate Cliff, Casey, and Allie, and like, you know, we would be goofing off 24/7, just like inside jokes, like speedy inside jokes all the time, and to the point where it was like, what are we even saying anymore? Like, what are we doing? And I don't think that's why I took it, or did like the silence for the whole weekend. But when I was doing it, I remember like being in the car with all of them, and like, you know, it was just jokes, and I was like, it feels good not to have to feel socially obligated to contribute. Like, wow, this is nice.
I love that.
And I realized that 80% of what, because I'd be like, I want to say this, and I'd be like, oh, I don't have to say it, and then I'd be like, what was the point of even saying that? What would that have brought to the conversation? I was like, absolutely nothing. Dang. Okay. So how much of what I say brings nothing to the table? And I was like, huh, that's crazy. But it was so funny too. Like I went to like to the spa. This is a place called We Spa, and I was just pointing. Like I had questions. I was writing things down. I was like asking them without asking them, and the guy was like, and he wasn't talking either. And I was like, what? And,
He was doing the same challenge.
he was doing, well, no, he was just confused. So then like the other like attendant next to him behind the counter was like, you can talk, he's just not talking, you can talk. And he was like, oh. That was so funny.
I love that.
Because I was nervous. I was like, people are gonna think I'm like weird. People are gonna think like, is he making fun of people who like can't talk? And I'm like, well, how would they even know? First off, they wouldn't know.
I was gonna say there are mute people out there, so
yeah. It's like everyone's weird in LA anyway, so I'm like, this is fine. But yeah, it was cool. It was a very, very peaceful weekend. and I can imagine a phone detox or some sort of fast would be similar. So I'm down. Like Winbush, if
Man,
you
I
wanna...
should try the non-talking thing. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I should do that next weekend or something.
It's fun. It's crazy. It's like yeah, it's like something you would never do, and it's like, all right, let's do it. It's pretty sweet.
Those challenges are so much fun. I've done it not for 2 days straight, but I've done like like one day in school I did it. But the teacher got mad at me, so I ended up having to talk. But oh well. I have a friend that does lemon eating speedruns, for example.
Lemonade?
No, lemon eating speedruns.
Oh,
He'll take a
jeez.
lemon, like sit with the legs crossed, and then he starts eating. He opens the lemon with his hands also, no tools, no nothing. Super weird slurping noises, and then when he's done, he boom, touches his legs, and that's the time. So then he goes into the editing and like checks frame perfect, has a spreadsheet with his times. So much fun.
A lot of citrus.
Yeah, dude, you got to balance that out. That's great. I love people like that. That's the best. Freaking good times. What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to talk about? We're chilling. We were gonna go till 2:00. So I mean that's 2 hours from now. We don't have to go all the way till 2, but you know we're chilling. What are you guys feeling? What do you guys want to get into?
I wanted to bring this up because I just got this at Five Below. This crazy fake.
Yeah,
Game
what is
Boy
this?
thing
What is
there.
what's going on here?
So I don't know. Do you guys have? You probably have Five Below, Clint. Do you have Five Below, Adam and Mikkel? It's almost like
What is
a
that?
dollar store, but everything is like $5, right? So I was in there getting batteries, and I saw this. I wish I had the box with me because it had like legit pictures of like Zelda and Mario, or Link and Mario on the cover, and it's like 500 games for like $5.
What?
So I got it just out of curiosity. I'm like, there's no way they legally put, like Mario Brothers and Excite Bike and all that stuff on there. But if I turn it on, I don't know if you guys can see it, but
Yeah.
there's like Double Dragon, Excite Bike, Final Fight. Like it has like legit games on here. I'm like, how the heck are they not getting sued? Like, this is crazy. Like this is Double
chilling
Dragon
at
2.
Five Below.
Right there. I'm just like, and
Does it
even when
have- Does
you
it
hit
have
the
an
game-
audio like a headphone jack?
Yeah, there's a headphone jack at the top. It has it came with compositing cables too if you want to hook it up to a TV. But literally, if I hit like, there's Ninja Turtles right here. Well, this is the Japanese version. Let me see, because like a game that I put on literally had like the Nintendo logo pop up at the front. So yeah, it has like Capcom games and Tatio.
What
and
the heck? What
I'm
is
like,
that
how the
called?
heck are they? Let me see. It says Tech Solutions made in China. That's like all it says on there, but
Tech Solutions.
Heck,
Tech Solutions, the gaming box.
yeah, I picked it up because I'm like, this is crazy. There's no way there's legit ROMs on here, and I'm like, how is this franchise not getting sued? Like they sold it at like a actual store, a brick and mortar store you could walk into. Like it's pretty crazy.
dang,
Yeah,
this feels like a Frankensons type of thing. I don't know if you guys are in Southern California. Frankensons is like mini Comic Con. It's like Comic Con for the like. It's like DIY Comic Con 3 times a week.
Right.
It's the best. Dude, this is
Oh,
crazy.
is that in Pasadena?
No. It's in City of Industry. It's the best thing ever. Like they've been around for so long. I went with my dad as a kid, and like it's still here. It's even better now. Like they upped it to the max, and there's like vendors everywhere. You can get, like they had a Crash Bandicoot vinyl on sale. I was like, what? That's so crazy.
So it's like a swap meet, right?
It is but like
Yeah.
for nerdy stuff and like Magic cards, Pokemon cards, Game Boys, like figurines and like collectibles, all that stuff.
But nothing is licensed. Like it's just all like people just going in and doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's all vendors. Like it's just
Yeah.
You could go in there, you could rent out a little booth, and then you could just fill it with whatever you want.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's super cool. But what are you guys trying to get into next year hobby wise? Because I know like I really want to get into more music stuff. Like I picked up one of these guys, one of these little pocket operators, and it's like a little sequencer and stuff. And
Oh, I've seen you
I'm
post
getting
this
some
on
for
Instagram
Christmas, I
stories.
think. I put
yeah,
it on my Christmas list. Yeah, the Street Fighter and the Mega Man one.
yes, dude, they're so freaking cool and so powerful. So I've been into that. Like I want to make some beats. I want to make some ambient music. I've been hitting up Adam. Like you've been showing me like Ableton a little bit. It's pretty overwhelming, but it's fun. It's exciting. But what about you guys?
Yes.
What are you guys trying to get into this year or next year?
So we might have to do a Discord with Adam because this year I was trying to get into music. I got the MPC, I got the Akai MIDI keyboard, and yeah, I was trying to get into music. I was making some stuff, but don't 100% understand Ableton. Like I have Ableton Lite because it came with a lot of hardware and stuff like that. But I think I've been kind of just brute forcing it, like making the chords on the MPC, bringing it into Ableton, and then just kind of chopping everything up and trying to arrange the music there. But just having fun with it, not really doing it on a professional level. That I don't think, because it just seems like my methods is kind of all over the place. But we definitely love to see like the correct way of doing it.
No, man, there's no correct way.
No,
No one's seeing the music, dude.
They're hearing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, every time I'm in there, I'm like, there has to be a better way to do all this stuff. Like I'm literally like brute forcing it, but it works,
Yeah, it's fun. Like I was doing a lot of research on music and technology, like the different gear and stuff, and I had no idea. Like I don't know anything. I'm just YouTubing stuff, and been following this guy Ricky Tinez, and
He's awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude, that guy is so freaking awesome. His videos are so well shot, it's so well lit. He's super chill. He's so good at explaining the technology, and he's been walking me through these pocket operators, and like the stuff he puts out with these things are crazy. It's so much fun. And like I don't know if it was him or another guy, but they were talking about like the difference between having your music set up at a computer, big old setup, versus like tiny portable stuff like this. And they were saying like the difference is, you're coming to your studio to make music, to produce the coolest track possible, and to have the world hear it. Like Adam, this is what you've kind of built your career on, right? Is making music that people can turn on in their car, on their stereo system, whatever. It's mixed well. It sounds great. It's a full song, right? Versus like a jam where it's just like a live kind of a thing, and it's more for just like, I guess similar to journaling. No one's really recording it or filming it, and it's just there to be a fun thing in that very moment. And like, I don't know, I've always liked that about jamming, that it's just in that moment it sounds so cool. And maybe when you listen back to the recording, it doesn't sound good, but at least in that moment it's fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that IG video you sent me, that guy when he made music when he's high, and he went back and listened to it, and just like
Yeah.
That sounded like a wild Pokemon.
Good.
Yeah. That's so funny, dude. I was dying. That's too good. Oh, we got Christian in the chat. What's up, Christian? Corridor Christian up in here, chilling.
Hey, Christian.
Hey, what up?
Good to see you, dude. I don't know.
Man,
What are
it's
those?
funny how that. I say it's kind of funny how that always like our two industries always kind of cross pollinate, because it's like I know a lot of 3D artists that are always like, I'm buying an instrument, whether it's a guitar or like a synth or whatever, and I want to learn how to make music this year. And then a lot of audio buddies that I have, they're always like, I want to learn After Effects, or I want to learn Blender or whatever. So it's kind of funny like how people are like professionals in their craft, but they always want to jump over to the other side. Like it's always kind of interesting how creatives kind of work in that sense.
To me, it always made a lot of sense. It's like you either do visual, like moving art, or like, because if you draw, that's like doing one note in my mind. Obviously it's not, but what I mean is like you time, like pacing, for example, really translates from video to music, I would guess. I'm really bad at music, I wouldn't know, but I don't know, it always felt natural to me how that happens.
Yeah.
I think it's like a thing where I don't know. I think we're all similar. We all got a lot of hobbies, and I always feel like I have to be doing something, whether that's good or bad. But I can't really do video stuff in my free hobby time. Like Adam, like you were saying, like you can't do music after music because you've been doing a lot of music. So what Adam, what's the thing for you that's that like free time hobby that you're just like, the world doesn't need to see it, this one's for you, and you get happiness out of it?
Oh, dude, riding my bike.
Like your bicycle?
That's right.
What kind do you have?
It's I guess it's a street bike because there's no shocks on it. Is
Right.
that what? Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess it's been a few years now. I got a Saunders bike, an electric bike when they first came out, and that kind of got me back in the biking again.
Is that like a pedal assist or has it got a throttle on it?
It has a throttle, but it's more pedal assist. Like if you're throttling the whole time, you're going to get like 25, 30 minutes out of it. But
Okay.
if you use it for pedal assist, you could get pretty far with it.
That's pretty rad. Yeah. And here in Portland, there's a lot of people that are just like zooming on their e-bikes. It's like cyborgs. Like you're on your bike and you'll see someone like paddling at a quarter of the rate you are, and they're just like right by you.
Cyborgs, freaking advanced humans.
Like it has this like whirring sound. Like the bike, you can hear is like.
Yeah,
It's crazy because
I had this longboard. I actually have it here. I brought it to the new city, but I've never had a chance to ride it here. And my dad was like, "Okay, I'll buy you like if you want a bike or a longboard or skates. I don't care, but not electric because you need to do sports, and that's just like a motorbike." And I'm like, "Okay, a longboard, please." And we very nicely paid for it.
Like a pedal, like a
No, a longboard. I mean,
yeah. But like, I mean, you gotta like kick. You have to power it with your legs. Kind of longboard. Is that what you're talking?
Yes. I don't know if you've seen the electric longboard. This is the one I have. It's just a normal longboard.
Ooh, I like those
but-
colors. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's pretty good. But there's these ones that have like a thick battery here, and they
Yeah.
have like a Bluetooth remote, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway,
It's so funny.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
those things are nuts. I definitely prefer the one wheel. You turn on a dime, but that's just me, of course. I'm biased. Adam, what do you
Hey,
get out of the bike, man? Like what does it do for you? Why is it important?
Oh, I wanted to ask real quick. In Los Angeles, are you seeing the one wheels where like your feet are on the left and the right of the
Yes.
wheel and you're going full?
Yes, these guys, you're just like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was at a food cart and this dude rolls up in like full like body armor. So I was gonna chat with him about motorcycles. I was like, "Oh, dude, what do you ride?" And he's like, "A one wheel." And I was like, "Whoa!" But yeah, they're on. I was like, "How fast are you going that you need to gear up that hard, dude?" And it's exactly it, dude. Those guys are like zooming, like on one of the bridges here in the city, which is basically an extension of the freeway. Like there's just a dude keeping up with traffic. And I was like, how are you gonna stop? Like you have to put all your points in evasion of something bad happened because you're not gonna brake.
dude,
Right?
Those things look sketch, man. Like face plant and you're done.
So are they riding on the street with the vehicles, or are they riding on the side?
Yes, dude, they're riding with the cars. I've seen it
Oh,
a couple
really?
times.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
I mean, those
Like,
things
you're
go too
just-
fast.
They go super fast. Like you could just cruise it and you like look over to your left and there's a dude just like slanted 45 degrees forward, just like looking at you. He's like, "What's up?" And you're just like,
That's crazy.
by the
But,
way, my friend sent me the eating lemon video. Do you guys want to check it out?
Oh
I
no.
want to watch someone eat a lemon.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let me figure out how to do this.
Who's this friend? What is his name?
Liam? I
Liam?
think you've heard of him. Yeah.
Visual?
No.
Are we talking visual right now or no? Okay.
No,
He's
different
another
Liam,
one of the
different Liam.
moderators. Okay.
Okay, let me try to figure out the screen share. I usually
So-
do this off camera. Okay.
Soto, while you're doing that, Adam, tell me about the bike. What's the bike get you that... No, we got the lemons, all right? Here we go.
Okay,
To
wait.
be
I'll
continued.
do. transition, and then I bring this up. And okay, I got it. So this is the video.
Dude, this is already creepy.
He's doing it like without tools, which is very impressive already.
So,
Is this like a is this a sport? type
yeah, is this
thing,
like
or
a thing, or is this just this guy?
I think it's just him. That's the thing. I don't know. I think it's just him. He's
There's no,
also a
like-
pretty good speedrunner, but
No lemon speedrunning community or something like this.
Yeah,
I
don't
would have
believe
to.
it. There
ask
has
him.
to be
I don't
one.
know.
This is like
R
peel,
slash lemon speedrun.
no
Oh, he
peel.
And there he
Percentage?
swallowed when he does that.
I mean, especially when he throws his hands up. I mean, I feel like that's a
Wha-
competition thing.
Wait a
There has to be a
Look at
community
this.
there
It's
for it.
like a legit thing with graphs and stuff. I don't know.
What the? Dude, I bet. Okay, this
Wait.
dude's dad. All right, imagine this dude's dad. Cantaloupe speedruns. All right, he was like the master of cantaloupe speedruns, and then like that was like he knew his dad doing that as a child, but then his dad was like, you know what? I was world champion for too long. I'm retiring, and he's like, son, I think you're gonna like this. So he gets him started on small stuff like grapes.
Grape speedruns.
I don't know if you guys know. I think this isn't everywhere, but in Spain, when the New Year happens, like we eat 12 grapes, and the 12th is the New Year. Is that only a Spain thing?
Definitely.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing in TV. They have like a Pac-Man thing in the bottom of the screen eating each dot, and you're supposed to eat at the same time. People peel the grapes sometimes if they're,
Oh.
I don't know. But yeah, it's quite fun.
So for a moment in time, you're eating a grape with a bunch of other people.
To the entire country.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's a vibe. I'm
Yeah.
down for that.
That's pretty cool.
So you're the odd person not if you're that one person not eating a grape at that particular time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people eat other stuff like M&Ms or something, but
Oh, we don't talk about
I
that.
like grapes. Grapes are good. Yeah, we don't talk about them.
Are we talking green grapes or purple grapes? Is there like is there
Usually
like
green.
a rule?
I had never thought of it, but usually green, yeah.
Dude, those cotton candy grapes though. Y'all ever
Yeah.
had those?
Yeah, my wife and
Yeah.
daughter love this.
They're so good. If you crush a whole bag though, I'm pretty sure that's not healthy. That's got to be like 60 grams of sugar or something like that. 70 grams of sugar, probably even more.
My daughter's done it plenty of times.
Oh, I've done it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember I was checking out at a grocery store and I had a bag of those cotton candy grapes, and like it's always a thing with me when I buy them to like ask the clerk if they've ever tried them, because I want to like be the person that witnesses them trying it for the first time. Because I remember when I tried one for the first time, I was like, it tastes like cotton candy. How do they do that? You know? And I remember one time this one lady, she takes a bite and she just like puckers up and like goes like this. And I was like, whoa, is it a Sour Batch? And she's like, you like these? And I was like, yeah. She's like, they taste like cotton candy. And I was like, I know.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's
Okay,
like,
then maybe I haven't tried them then. Whoa. I thought it was just the
Sorry.
name, like a name of a variety, but I didn't expect it to like taste like that. Then
What?
I haven't tried them then.
it's worth it. Yeah, they're
what's
expensive. but
what's the nastiest thing y'all have ever eaten in your entire life?
So when I went to school, I ate lunch there for like 2 years. And because of allergies, I couldn't eat egg or nuts, but they were like, also you can't eat fish for no reason. I'm like, but I like fish. They're like, nope. So
What?
they gave me like this nasty meat. I was convinced it was like a piece of lungs or something. Lungs? Is that like the breathing organ?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I was right. And it was like you would put the fork in and it would like deep. It would like. It was nasty. It was and I would almost throw up every time the guy there would make me eat it. I was like, just take a tiny bite, I'll eat it. He was like, no. The worst thing ever. Anyway,
Yeah, I can't say. I mean, I keep my food is pretty simple, so yeah, nothing too crazy. I don't get adventurous when it comes to food.
Oh yeah, like when you travel.
I mean, I
We eat
might try
chicken
some of the
tenders no
local
matter
stuff,
what.
but you said you eat chicken tenders.
No, I'm asking if you're the chicken tenders no matter what, dude.
Probably the cheeseburger, but yeah.
The cheeseburger no matter what, dude.
Yep. But
Can't go wrong.
yeah, I mean, I might try some local stuff, but I can't say anything's been terrible. You know, it's just not my thing though.
Adam, do you have any horror stories?
I mean, dude, I made like a bunch of fail meals, you know, that I've in private, but I can't remember the recipe for the failure of it. No, I don't got anything.
That's a bad question, guys. It's cool. It was a bad question.
No, like the intention behind the question was so good though.
You felt the intention? You did?
Yeah, I felt it. It was like
Okay,
it was good
okay.
vibes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to go story time. I'm trying to steer it into like some story time.
Did
Well, you
you
got
have
one.
a bad food
Okay.
you've eaten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Do you have a bad food or meal you had?
No, not really.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had like, I saw when I was in China, I saw a freaking like a 5-gallon little like freaking, I don't know, what do you call it, like a little water jug. You get water from it, cooler, like a water cooler thing, and there was like snakes in it with like
I've seen that.
reptiles.
That's what I say. I could say some of the nastiest stuff I've seen. 'Cause I've been to those markets over in China before, and they have some pretty gnarly stuff there. Like it is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Like I've had chicken feet before, and like I don't like them. It's just peeling skin off of a like soggy skin off a bone. But maybe there's like the place for chicken feet.
Is there any meat on chicken feet? Like, what are you eating exactly?
I don't know. In my experience, like I've rarely eaten it, but like I grew up with my buddy Marcus, and he's Chinese, so his parents, we would go to dim sum like all the time. We go to dim sum, and it was the best. Like some of the best memories of my childhood, and like they would have chicken feet there, and I'd be like, yeah, let's go. I'll try some chicken feet. It was never my favorite, but yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't there like I'm probably misremembering, but wasn't there a story where you ate a sock or something? I'm probably wrong. Something with a sock.
No, that was Jimmy. That's two stories. I don't know. When you say nasty sock story, two things come to mind. First, it was when we were living in on Hunter Street in Suite Number 6, where the Stress Level 0 office is now. This is when Freddie and Brandon were doing their thing on Hunter Street still. And I remember this. Okay, so the previous night, me and Brett were roommates. The previous night, I scared Brett so bad. And I like, who knows if this is why, but he woke up the next day with Batman neck. Like, he couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? He just tweaked something in his neck, and he was out for the day. And I was like, son.
Batman neck.
Yeah. I was like, son, I'm going to help you out here. So I was like, hurry. Like, let's find something. And I think Max was there, my old roommate Max. And he was like, quick, we got to heat something up and like, and put it on his neck. And I was like, okay. So I don't know why I was thinking like, I got to make a DIY like hot pad for his neck. So I saw an old tortilla, and then I saw a sock in the corner, and I was like, I'm gonna put these two things together, heat him up in the microwave, and then put it on his neck, and he'll be all better. And dude, it smelled so bad, and I put it on his neck.
That's definitely the story I thought I remembered. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was rough. The other sock story, me and Jimmy, we would play Mario Kart all the time, and we would play so much that we would start betting each other like challenges that if we got first or second, we had to do something. And I bet him like, if whoever gets first, second place has to lick the other person's foot. And it was like, you know, I wasn't gonna have him lick my barefoot. That's gross. But we had our socks on, of course. So he goes to lick my sock because of course I won. I always get first place, and that was a pretty golden moment in my life. I don't know.
Okay.
Those are my sock stories.
So
Yeah.
speaking of Mario Kart, the new tracks just came out today.
What? Are you serious?
Nice.
Yeah, the Moon Cup and Rocket Cup. They're probably going to play that tonight on game night.
Dude,
Yo,
I
I'm glad
might
you
have to
said
join
that.
you.
Man, I should get more into video games. I barely play. I started playing a little bit of Overwatch with friends now. I bought a Switch when it came out and everything. But now a friend has it. He was actually my teacher. But now it's a friend. Yeah, I should get it back and just start playing video games again.
It's
It's
a good
good.
time.
Yeah, I know. Like earlier, we were talking about like stuff to do, like away from your work to kind of just like decompress. And I know for me, video games is a big part of that, especially like story video games. Like I just played through A Plague's Tale Requiem, and yeah, it was so good. Like I know a lot of people are talking about God of War this year, but I would say Plague's Tale was probably up there for probably one of the best stories. And
Mhm.
just kind of playing through those interactive story games and stuff like that is pretty it's pretty relaxing, you know. Like I enjoy doing that type of stuff.
Man, I was so close to playing that game. I had the Game Pass, and I downloaded that game, and I just didn't play it, but it just looks sick.
Oh man, it's so that's exactly where I played it on Game Pass. It's good. Like, have you played the first one?
Nope.
Yeah, you definitely want to play the first one first because they kind of go back to back, but they're both really good.
I saw it at Game Awards a couple nights ago. It won something, didn't it? The best story, or is nominated for best story or something?
Yeah, I know it was nominated for a bunch of stuff, but I didn't watch the full Game Awards, so I didn't get to see what it won. But yeah, what it surprised me. I mean, the story's pretty good. Basically, for anybody that didn't play it, it's about the Black Plague that happened, you know, centuries back in, I guess it would say, I'm not sure what country they're in, somewhere in Europe, but this kid has the ability to basically control the rats that spread the plague around. I don't want to give away the story, but it's pretty gnarly. The whole entire thing is pretty dope.
That's awesome. Oh, dang. I'm looking at the trailer now, and there's like swarming rats. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Check
like-
it out after the stream. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, no, it came out the first one came out, I want to say 2019 on like the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But with the current gen and the new technology, there's just like a multitude of more rats that are on the screen at any given time. Like it's just crazy just seeing those big swarms out there.
It's so funny that more rats is a selling point for them. That's really interesting.
I mean, it really is. I mean, it gets overwhelming. Like you can feel it. Plus the audio design, like the music and audio design and voice acting is really good. Like it all came together really well.
Heck yeah. I've been hearing all of the hype for what's that game with the dinosaurs? With Ashley Birch.
Oh, the with the robot dinosaurs?
Yes.
Horizon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
the new one, I don't know.
Yeah, so those games, like, I missed out on that one, and I'm like, oh, I want to get into this, and I downloaded it, and I think I got maybe a few hours in, and it was like too big for me for some reason. Like it was overwhelming, too much stuff to do. I get overwhelmed in those like open world type games, and I had just finished like Ghost of Tsushima, and I got to level 100 in Elden Ring and still didn't beat that. So I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for this, which is why Stray, dude, I beat that game
Stray
3
was
times.
great.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was good.
Got game of the year, best indie game of the year, which
Yeah,
is
it
amazing.
deserved it.
Oh, 100%. It was nominated for game of the year too, which is crazy. But that game's awesome. Adam, you're playing that right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I dropped it. I don't know why. I just got occupied with other things, but yeah,
That
I
happens,
love the sound design of that game so much, and I love all the just like miscellaneous cat functions they give you
Yeah.
that like don't serve any purpose other than being like, yeah, you're playing as a cat.
Yeah, this kind of drove me crazy at first because I'm like, especially, you know, like you go to interact with something, then I'm sitting there and I'm like, is something supposed to happen? He's like, no, he's just chilling. He's just laying down.
That's
as the
right.
camera like slowly pans back.
Just general cat activities is what you're getting into with that prompt.
Yep.
Did you beat
But-
it, Winbush?
Oh yeah, my daughter and I binged right through that. I think probably like 2 or 3 playthroughs.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
freaking so good.
I think I was
have it in
showing you
my
the guy
library. Oh, go
that
ahead, go ahead.
there's this guy. He's pretty much like a Unreal Engine god. Like he used to make this crazy stuff on YouTube on Unreal Engine 4, and he kind of disappeared. I was telling Clint this yesterday. I think his name was like Koola, Koolaa or something
Yeah.
like that. I sent you his YouTube channel, but yeah, he was making amazing stuff in Unreal. Like people couldn't even fathom like how he was making it. Then he kind of just disappeared and wasn't putting content up anymore. And then out of nowhere, like the trailer drops for Stray, and it's him. Like he created this game by him. Well, he started it by himself, and then he got funding, I think, through like Sony or something for it, and was able to finish it out. But it's kind of crazy to see like one person be able to create something on that magnitude, like by themselves. Like we have the type of technology now to where anybody could kind of create anything that your mind could think of. Like it's pretty wild.
Dude, this is like the highest level thing. I remember I've seen this like storm test. I dropped a link in the chat for you guys to look at. And I remember seeing this being like, holy crap, this looks so good. And to find out it's the same guy who did Stray makes me so happy.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did it.
it makes sense. Like the environments that are in Stray, like you get, once you realize it's the same guy, it's like, okay, now it makes sense why those environments look so good.
It's next level.
Wow.
Like that's the kind of stuff that gets me super amped to do 3D and like make environments and worlds and stuff. It's like these super nice use cases are man, they're so inspiring.
Well, this is
Yeah,
insane
100%. I mean, he did like an earthquake simulator that looked pretty good on his channel. Like there's a lot of good stuff that he was pumping out there, and kind of happy to see that his game got so much recognition, because I don't know, because I don't know him personally, but I feel like his Stray 2 is probably coming at some point.
Oh, dude, I'm ready for it. That game was too good. The music, yeah, freaking incredible.
I think he just came up with the whole idea by just interacting with his cat. Like that's stuff like his real cat and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you can tell he had a cat. Like it shows. It just shows. Yeah.
Man, too many things to do, not enough time.
yeah. Say, speaking of the Game Awards, I know you guys saw the Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton getting
I
shot out.
love it, dude. That guy is. Oh man, just incredible, dude. Like absolute flex. Just
I was-
sneaking up on stage.
I saw it live,
think-
and I was like, what? Who is this janky looking dude in the background? He does not look like he belongs with these guys. And I'm like, what is going on?
I wish I watched it all the way through now to witness that live, because I saw like I didn't get to watch the full thing, and then I saw people talking about it the next day, and I'm like, what? Like, what's this meme of this kid, just chilling there? Then I watched the actual clip, and I was just like, holy crap, this is gold. Like just seeing him walk up the other aisle, as they announce the winner, like he's a part of the team.
like this.
Nobody even
I
stopped him.
didn't
It's
watch
like,
it. I'm so lost.
man,
What?
you have to check it out. This kid at the Game Awards, so Elden Ring, the video game, won like Game of the Year. And so, the Elden Ring team went to go up on stage to get the trophy and do their acceptance speech. But this other kid randomly got out of his seat and walked up with them up on stage as if he was a part of that team. And so, he let the team give their speeches and, their congratulations and everything. And then at the very end, he's just like, okay, now it's my turn to speak. And he's like, I'd like to nominate my Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton for something. And everybody's just like, what the? Like, it's such a weird, awkward moment, but yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I think this is a link to it. I'll drop it in the chat.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, what did he just say? What was that? And I like texted my friends who are also watching it. and like they barely caught it. I was like, am I the only one who saw this? What is going on here? It's
Yeah, it's
freaking
funny
weird.
because my one friend James, 5 Pixels, he's in the chat. He was saying that I guess
Oh,
that's
what up,
what that
James?
kid's I guess that's what he's done for. He's like some kid from like 4chan or something, and he pops up in random places giving like shots out to Bill Clinton, but that's probably like the biggest skill one that he got to do.
Freaking lost it, dude. Like,
Yeah, it was
it's
for me. It
crazy.
wasn't even him getting on the mic. It was just the awkwardness of him in the background. You could tell like he didn't belong there, and he looked nervous as heck, just like standing there. And the cameras were like on him and everything too. Like no one questioned the entire time he was up there.
It's like when I was watching it, and you had like the main shot on the main guy from Elden Ring, and in the background, I was like, that guy is like, he's not standing with the team. He's standing behind everybody, and I'm like, that's weird. And he looked
Right.
like a kid. Like, who's this random like kid? And sure enough.
Yeah. Our
Oh,
shows are always like so messy lately with the Oscars and the whole Will Smith thing. And then like even before, I don't know if you guys remember the clip of the Oscars, just the camera guy being like this on the actors, like when they're getting nominated,
No, I
and
didn't
then
see that.
them. I gotta find it. Them like trying to ignore the camera, you know? They're like smiling. Imagine the camera guy is like super close, like this, and they're just like looking at the screen, clapping, and then the camera guy is. I don't know. It was really awkward. Let me try
Weird.
to find it.
Yeah, I
Trying
feel
to get
like
back into it.
they're gonna be doing like the game awards, and you have to like register all the people they're gonna go up with you now, so that doesn't happen again. But
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's like it's tough because like it's a creative community, right? So it's not like the Oscars where everybody has like like gowns and tuxedos on and everybody looks like they should be there. Like the Game Awards, everybody's wearing all types of random stuff. So it's like, who's to stop that kid? Like, you don't look like you belong in this group, because I mean, he looked like any other game artist out there. So it would be kind of hard to say like, oh, this kid doesn't fit in with that vibe, because I mean, that could just be like the type of stuff that he wears, or just the vibe he puts off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't think there was any way to stop that unless it's like a future thing. It's like, who's going up on stage with you, clear them, and then now anyone else not on this list doesn't get to go. But yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
The only thing that could have threw a red flag was he came from the whole opposite side of the stadium there and not like sitting with the team. So I mean, that should have threw some flags off.
Definitely.
I found a clip of the actors being super close up. Let me try to show it.
Don't get us demonized here.
That should be fine. Okay. Keep it like this. It's just, I don't know, I'll make it big. But it's just really, really awkward. They're like super close. And the
So-
camera guy just keeps like being there. Or like, it's just so awkward. How do you
Oh.
put this on TV?
So is he zoomed in, or is he like really like
Yeah.
up on everybody?
No, he's like close because you can see the like focal length and everything.
Yeah, they look uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
And these are the people that are like best at not looking uncomfortable on camera. It's crazy. Anyway, I just think it's a funny clip.
He's like right in between their kneecaps. What?
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Too funny.
Hey, cringy. How you guys feeling?
Good.
Pretty good.
Good.
You want to try and pop off one of these Discord games? Adam, do you have a setup? You have a computer setup screen share situation?
I do.
I mean, we're
Let me
chilling at this
do.
point.
My screen share status. Not status.
So I think for the Discord game, we would have to be like in your Discord though. I think.
Oh,
Oh right, yes.
that's complicated.
Because Yeah, we'd have to re-go on like your actual physical Discord.
It's cool. We can probably skip
Maybe
out
we
on
can
it.
do some Gartic phone or something.
Yeah.
Do you ever play anything with your audience or anything online, like where you have other people participate just in the chat?
I mean, that'd be interesting. I don't know. What options would there be for that? I guess we could do Gartic phone and maybe have some people hop in. People got
It
some
does have a
questions too.
small cap of people. Yeah, maybe some questions. It's good.
Yeah, let's go to you guys. Let's go to the chat here. See if you guys have any questions. I know Edge, you got a question. Hit us with hit me with @pwnisher so I can see it in the chat here. And then even if it's for Winbush or for Adam, that way we can just kind of like, get a better visual on all the questions. So I'll start with Edge here. How do you manage what you do in the short term based on the long term goals? Oh shoot. Yeah, I had a problem with that this year. Like I was saying earlier, like I feel like the posting schedule on this channel is so packed, even though it's twice a week. Sorry, twice a month. I'm just laying one train track at a time, and I've kind of lost sight of the long-term goals this year because of that, and I'm not chill with that. So that's definitely one of the things that I want to work on next year is having a bit more foresight in the year, and not being as crunched. Like how I'm gonna do that, I think it's either taking on less or getting help, hiring help. Like I might try and hire an editor, or maybe hire someone to help me with thumbnails, or hire someone for social media, or all three, at once. I don't know, but I definitely need to like start getting more help because it's too difficult to do on my own with all the stuff that I want to do, all that stuff, like minus making a movie. Jeez. But it's tough when the YouTube channel is like full time. What were you gonna say, Winbush?
No, I said you're working on a film still.
Oh yeah, man. It's always like, it's the whole reason I picked up a camera 16 years ago in the first place. So, yeah, man, absolutely. Just the YouTube channel takes up all of my time. I have no time outside of that, and I have to start, building barriers. I can't just wake up and work on the channel. I have to split things up. I got to be smart about it. So yeah, Edge, I'm working on that. What about you guys? Do you have any like way to manage the short-term stuff you're working on and have it reach the longer-term stuff?
I mean, my biggest long-term goal right now is like I wanted to hit 100,000 on my YouTube channel, more because I wanted that YouTube plaque, the silver button plaque. So that was probably my long term. So to hit that in the short term, I've just been, pumping out the educational content week after week. But yeah, I would say, like we were alluding to, just mental being and physical being. Like my long term goal is just to be as healthy as possible. So just trying to have those small victories, like I'm going to try the fasting thing with you guys and just try to take it one step at a time, because I know in my experience, whenever you try to do any type of like quick fix, like crash dieting or, with whatever the latest trend is, that it never works out. Like you always got to just take it kind of slow and easy if you want to do this for the long haul. So yeah, that's it for me there. Yeah,
for sure. In my case, I'm pretty lucky. Like they line up pretty well, the short and the long term. I just want to work in movies, either VFX or animation. I like both, so I'll decide when the time comes. And in the short term, I'm just doing schoolwork and freelance. So like I'm pretty lucky with that for now. We'll see in the future though.
Adam?
I mean, I can relate to what you're saying about stuff in the short term kind of taking up all your time. So I don't know. I'm trying to improve on that as well, because these songs I'm working on for my album, I feel like should have been done years ago, to be honest. So I've successfully been busy with short-term stuff for a long-term time. So yeah, it's something I'm going to be working on next year.
Yeah, I feel it's like a priority thing, it's what's important, and then put your time towards that. And it's definitely easier said than done, unfortunately. But
Yeah, I always say not enough hours in a day, but I'm always like, if there was more hours in a day, I would probably still say that. It's just
Exactly, dude.
one of
Yeah,
those
for
things,
real.
Because we
Too
do
true.
say like, oh, there's not enough time in the week, in the month. That's why it's kind of hard.
Let's see. That was a good question, Edge. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here.
Oh,
Let's see. Okay, so Fwed58 says, I don't know if you answer this, but how do you deal with procrastinating from your projects until the last minute deadline? Also, when should be a good time to hire people for YouTube? Yeah, procrastination. I've learned that, like, for me, pretty sure I got ADHD, and I think my
I think
mom
we all do.
has it too. Yeah. So I'm kind of scatterbrained. I'm kind of all over the place. Procrastinating. Well, starting something is always the hardest, and I've learned that, like, using that last minute as a push to do the work is what I need, which is kind of jacked.
In the same way.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Really?
That's how I
Always.
got. That's how I got
Yeah.
through my last album. Was just like insane procrastination energy.
Dang.
Clint, I'm sure you remember because it was literally yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, we'll set up the stream after I finish the essay I have because I need to finish it at 12 today and I've been procrastinating all week. So, yep. But I mean, at least the deadline kind of works, like we get stuff done, obviously. But at the same time, I feel like it'd be so much less stressful if you could just force yourself to do it, because at least for me, it's always in the back of my mind, like I need to do it, I need to do it. I might try doing it and then I'm like less productive than if I just didn't try, because instead of doing other stuff I'm just like forcing myself to finish the thing. So I don't know, but tricky.
And, for me, I feel like I'm more focused when it comes down to like that, when you're at like that final hour where it's like, okay, you have the deadline, you have to get it in, and for some reason that's when I become more laser focused. Like when something is just kind of dangling out there and I don't have a deadline, or the deadline's far down the line, it's like hard to stay laser focused for that amount of time. But once it's like, oh crap, I got 6 hours to get this done, then it's like I'm laser focused on that 6 hours because I know it has to get completed.
Yeah. Also, I try to leverage the kind of motivation or the hype that you get at the beginning of every project. Like, because if it's a cool project, then I'm like, oh, dude, this is so cool. Then I use that as much as I can. And then when I get tired, it's like harder. You keep working at it if it's a big project. And then when it gets close to the deadline, you get like another boost again. So that helps sometimes.
I feel like a lot of artists are kind of like that though. I wonder if it's just the way that like creatives are kind of wired in the brain.
Yeah, I want to find an easier way though, because for me, it feels like I'm in stop and go traffic to the max, where I finish a project and I hit the brakes hard and I sit there until I see there's a giant gap in front of me. I'm getting horns from the back and I'm like, oh, I gotta go forward, and I like and then blast off, right? And then as soon as the project is done, I slam the brakes and come to a screeching halt and be like, oh, I gotta chill now. I can't like I can't go. I'm not going. And I think that's the burnout thing, like in little doses. And I'm like, I think my life is will always be a search for like a smooth, balanced kind of a workflow. And I don't know if I'll ever like be balanced. It's so easy for me to get out of balance. It's the hardest to be in balance, and it's just constant. It feels like constant work, and it's hard when you're burnt out. So it's yeah, that's definitely something I'll be working on next year. Got to get that figured out for sure.
I don't know if anybody has it figured out or perfected, because I feel like I was saying, like a lot of us pretty much are in that same situation. So it just might be the type of thing where, yeah, it's just how we're built. Okay, I don't think anybody, at least that I know of, has it like perfected to where they're just like coasting the entire time. It's always like this chaotic organization to it that just happens to work out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Mm.
almost a good problem to have, in the sense that at least we love what we do, you know? So I feel like some people just don't find that thing they love that they can also make a living from. And then they're just like on a soft burnout for their entire career, kind of. So I don't know.
But
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think
is there a
that's a good
healthier
point.
way? You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's got to be, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's where the discipline comes in at, right? Like you have
Yeah.
to discipline yourself to be able to do that, but that's tough.
it is. Let's take another question here. Okay. All right. I think this is a good one that we can all answer here. What would be the tool / software you're not using in your workflow at the moment, but would be using if you'd be able to learn it instantly? Basically, what program or tool are you guys trying to get into next year to, you know, make your creative situation better? This is from Thomas.
I don't know if it'll make it better, but I've been on and off trying to get into Blender lately. Like, still, you know, love Cinema 4D, love everything at Max on, but it's just been hard to ignore Blender in that community. You know, like they're doing a lot of crazy stuff over there, and every time I'm on, you know, like Twitter or Instagram, I'm seeing all types of like crazy creative stuff being built for Blender in that community, you know, like with the plugins and the Blender marketplace. Like I literally saw somebody make some type of geometry node that allowed you to make like a river, and all you had to do is like click on splines and kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
make the shape of your river. Like,
Yeah, I
that's
saw that.
crazy. I'm like, yeah, that they're doing that type of stuff all the time over in Blender community. So I'm like, I have to tap in, because that's
I
like,
know.
that's just where my brain's at, like, always being creative and always doing crazy stuff. Like I love that type of innovation.
Yeah, I feel it
Yeah.
too. It's like, I want those sweet updates too. That's awesome.
Yeah, now they're making a solver inside geometry nodes, kind of, so you can iterate through things. Basically, it's becoming like a small Houdini on that side, but then you have all the other cool stuff that Houdini isn't the best at, like, you know, non-procedural modeling or animation or things like that. I think it's really powerful. But I already know it, so for me it's Houdini, and lately, like last week, I started learning Nuke for compositing.
Oh, nice.
I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really fun. I already knew Blackmagic Fusion, so it's a really smooth transition for me, because I already do compositing node based. It's just learning the new names of the nodes and a couple hotkeys. But
Right.
yeah.
So Adam, you're definitely on the music side of things. So do you want to briefly kind of like describe the software you use just real quick, and then just give the audience a sense of kind of like what those things do for people who don't use music or don't produce music, and then give us an idea of like if there's something that you're trying to get into next year, technique wise, tool wise. Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, honestly, I've been procrastinating on learning Unreal, just so that I could make my own visuals to go with my music. But yeah, on the music end of things, I just use one piece of software called Ableton, and yeah, a bunch of other like mini softwares that do very specific jobs for audio. So that's basically it.
So you're trying to
Yeah,
learn.
an
Are you
example of
still
that.
trying to? Oh, go ahead, Mikhail.
Yeah, what's an example of like a really specific, like what would it do, for example?
Um, Like there's a program called Paul Stretch. It's been around for a long time. I think is a very it got famous when you would like see Justin Bieber videos or songs stretched out to like 800 times or whatever, and it would sound like a beautiful ambient drone. So just like things like that have very specific functions. Or there's this one thing I use called Send Plant, which is like you drop a seed in and you like grow a plant and you like edit the DNA and it like creates a sound as you're like changing the way the plant grows and everything. It's like a really creative synthesizer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's like a visual. Instead of twisting knobs, you're growing a plant, essentially.
Yeah. But it's different than like you guys in the 3D community. Like I know it's kind of like a symphony of a bunch of different programs that can all kind of come together and you can composite it in one place.
Right.
For me, it's like microphones and putting it into Ableton and just finessing it in the program itself.
Maybe we need to barter.
Yeah, maybe so.
Unreal. See, I teach you Unreal and you can teach me Ableton.
All right, it sounds like a good deal.
That's legit, though. I mean, like, Winbush is the guy for learning Unreal. He's part of how I learned Unreal, and he just put out a free course on his page, for Unreal course for beginners. 5 episodes?
Yeah, it's called Unreal Engine 5 in 5 days. So each day is about an hour, but cover, like whole magnitude of different stuff within Unreal, from like world building to character animation to motion graphics. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. I should probably actually do another one based off of our conversation here, because I did do a tutorial where you could use like MIDI controllers to control stuff inside of Unreal. That's pretty dope, and they just did some updates on that, so that could probably make for a pretty dope course, like trying to merge like the audio side with Unreal, because there's a lot of cool controller stuff you could do with that.
Because you can control lights that way too, right?
Everything, like lights, cameras, any parameter that you want. Like if you can't do it with the interface, you can always blueprint it and kind of brute force it. But yeah, I've seen Deadmau5, right?
Mm-hmm.
The EDM DJ. Yeah, that's what he practically uses Unreal for a lot of his live performance stuff. So he has Unreal hooked up to his whole MIDI controller there up on stage, and he's doing a lot of his stuff real time as he's playing out his music. It's pretty dope.
What
That's
the
awesome.
heck?
Yeah.
That's advanced level.
Yeah, he has like an engineering programming background, so he gets pretty crazy with it.
Yeah, I know a lot of streamers as well do crazy real-time like backgrounds or basically virtual productions used for their streams or things like that. Unreal is really expanding on those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, that would be so cool to get into. But I feel like that would be my life then. At that point, it's like I just dedicate a year to making the best stream possible. It's sweet. It sounds like fun, but man, that's a deep dive for sure.
But you already have like 90% of the pieces you need to complete that puzzle, because you know 3D, you know cinematography, you know Unreal, you know compositing. You just would need to learn how to do compositing inside Unreal. I feel like you get like a pretty sweet setup. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive because I haven't done it, but I feel like you could do it pretty easily.
Yeah, he's pretty much there. You just need a green screen. You're pretty much that.
Yeah, it'd be cool to do a live show where like I record things that happen here. Like I build this set in a studio, right? And then it gets hit, a car runs through here, like it just breaks through, and like I get hit or something, right? But it's like pre-recorded, and and then I come out from like back here, and I step over all the junk, and I'm like, it's all chill. Like that was a close one, and I have 10. I have 10. Oh my god, I got 9 lives, and I'm gonna die every time, but I have to get the art done before I die. Not my 9th death. That's crazy.
You just have the pre-recorded thing. Your actual live studios with a car there. You just do a Texas switch, like we fade to the same place, and then you pop up from below.
Or there's a trap door. I fall into a spike pit or something.
I have to find a link for it because like the Discovery, or not Discovery, the Weather Channel, their whole studio is all Unreal based now. And it's like they were doing like natural disaster stuff, just like you were saying, you know, like you would have the host in the middle of like all this stuff going on. Like if they're talking about like a hurricane or something, it's like trees are falling around them, and you know, like the flood is raising up around them, and like it's pretty crazy. And they're like standing in the middle of it, and it looks like they're in the middle of like this environment that's just like crashing down all around them. Like
Whoa.
it's pretty wild. I gotta see if I can find it here.
Dude, if the
Yeah,
Weather
that
Channel did
reminded me.
tutorials, that would be crazy.
They need to, because they were on some next level stuff with that. Like I was looking at it like, man, how the heck did they even do that? Like the camera is moving, you know, like the roll camera is moving, so everything is parallaxing with it. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
Winbush, someone's got a question for you. Bunthal. As a dad, are your kids creative, and how do you engage with them in that creativity, and how do you help them through the same pitfalls if they do hit the same pitfalls as yourself creatively?
Yeah, I would say my daughter more so than my son, but my daughter, she's taking up more doing like traditional cartooning, you know, where it's like frame by frame animation, which she's becoming really good at that. Like she doesn't even use a computer, like she pretty much gets on her tablet and goes to town. But she's kind of like me, she's like self-motivated and a self-starter, because I've offered to get her classes and stuff like that, and she's just like, no, I'm just gonna do it and figure it out myself. And she's been doing it for a couple of years. Like she's a teenager now, but she's been trekking ahead. So I do what I can to try to support it, you know, like keep her up with the latest technology or get the software that she needs to pursue it. But yeah, other than just trying to be there and give them help where they need it, I mean, that's all you could do. Because I think part of being an artist is all about self-discovery. Like that's where you kind of, it's like an adrenaline rush, like when you have like this, like these problems that are set forth you know, in front of you, and then you are able to kind of overcome that problem, and you just get like that kick out of it, and that's what keeps you going, at least for me. So like seeing them have that like aha moment, I think that's what keeps them going. So try not to get in the way of that, but just also try to give assistance where it's needed, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds like the best way to go about it, for sure.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Dang. Let's see. We got a couple more questions here, and then we can probably wrap it up, because I'm gonna have to get to the weekly challenge. Let's see. And if you guys have anything too, feel free to ask. But I'm just going through the chat here.
I dropped this link in our Discord too. It looks like it's on Facebook, so I'm not sure if you could play it or not, Mikhail. The Discovery
Let's
Channel
see.
stuff.
Oh yeah, I have it. Okay, let's see.
All right, cool. Yeah, this stuff is pretty wild.
There we go.
Yeah, so all that stuff.
What?
That's
Yeah.
Wow.
crazy.
But I have to find it for you. I
Dude.
know on Unreal's website they did like a whole case study behind it, but yeah, they
Yeah.
did some really cool effects in real time there. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's fun.
that one there.
Cool, dude. What? This is the
I've
Weather
always found
Channel.
real-time VFX so much fun. It's just like you're trying to make everything work live, and it looks like a little bit junky, but to like, I don't know. This is great. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's crazy like how much they're getting behind it, you know, because I can't remember the last time I even watched the Weather Channel, and it's just like for them to put this magnitude of effort into
Yeah.
making something cool, you know, like right there, like that's pretty wild, you know.
Dude, the Weather Channel has leveled up. Jeez.
And they're acting and everything.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
interacting with the environments, and they have like fans, you know, blowing on them to make it look like they're really in there. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. It'd be sweet to get a system like this. I've always wondered how like the NFL does it. You know, they have all the stuff tracked onto them in real time, and there's that hockey clip where like a giant hand came out from like the ice. It like broke through. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just Unreal Engine in real time on live TV. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
They got a lot of special systems in place though. Like, the NFL Network, they use Unreal, but they have so much at their leverage that they're able to utilize. Like, we could probably do it on a smaller scale, but NFL, that's multi-billion-dollar corporation. They got a lot at their hands, so they have the top of the top engineers able to bang out any problems that they come upon, in real time.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Logan's in the chat. There's another Unreal expert. He says the NFL has about 16 people and four UE. I guess 4 Unreals running at once.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's serious.
I know
Not
that
to say it can't be
ILM
done, but yeah.
Yeah. I know that ILM were making their own render engine for their stage virtual production things. So, I mean, apparently they run into some limitation with Unreal, or maybe it's about, I don't know. But I know they were making their own custom render engine and platform and everything. So we'll see if they show anything to the public about that.
Yeah, ILM, they have their whole own R&D department, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with something that they built custom for them. I know Mandalorian was the big first case study for doing Unreal stuff in real time for live production, and then I think on the Mandalorian 2 they scaled back on it a little bit. I'm not sure about the more recent shows. Maybe that's where they're using their own stuff in there, but yeah, ILM, they're pretty tops when it comes to that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, I think I'll hit you guys with one more question before we bounce out of here. I'll let you guys go, and then I'll do the weekly challenge and whatnot for everybody in the chat here. But what are you guys looking to do here as the year wraps up, and before you go into next year? Like, what are your plans? Are you guys going to take a break? Are you guys going to, yeah, I guess that's the question. Are you going to take a break? Are you going to make time for yourself, and what are you going to do to prepare yourself for next year? Adam, do you have any plans?
Well, I have an EP coming out next Friday, so
Oh shoot!
I can't take a break. Yeah.
Nice.
Really soon, yeah.
Yeah. But I'll be going to see my family for Christmas, and that's always like a really good reset. So it's always a good time to reflect and look ahead.
Heck yeah, sweet. Mikkel, what about you, man? Are you full force going through the break or what?
Yeah, I'm kind of taking half a break because I'm going back home to visit family and friends, so that's awesome. But then I have exams after Christmas, and also I have some freelance thing to finish up. So I'm gonna be working as much, but from home and making time for family and friends. It is kind of a break, yeah.
Absolutely, heck yeah. Winbush, what are you gonna do at the end of this year to prepare for next year?
Yeah, probably just gonna keep it moving,
Oh, straight through?
Just keep going. Yeah, I think so. At least on the YouTube side, I'm still doing more stuff with Rococo. I kind of rekindled that stuff over there with those guys. So I have another tutorial that I've been working on with the Smart Suit 2. The second Smart Suit and the Rococo AI that they just dropped. So I'm doing a comparison tutorial about when to use AI and where to use the suit and how they kind of differ from each other. That's been pretty fun to put together, working
Heck
with
yeah.
Vanya, Sam, and Mark and those guys over there on that.
Great
And then
guys.
also,
Yeah, they're awesome.
yeah, they've been great. I got to meet them at SIGGRAPH actually up in Vancouver this year for the
nice.
first time, which was cool. So yeah, great group of people. They came to watch my talk. Funny enough, I saw them with the Rococo suits as I was up on stage, and I went to go see them, and they were gone by the time I got off stage. But I went over to their booth and hung out with them for a little bit. So yeah, great group of people over there. And then I'm also going to be tearing down my office here for the most part and just kind of doing a hard reset for 2023. So I love doing like DIY type stuff. Like I built that arcade that's behind me. My son and I built that a couple of years ago. So I figured I'm kind of outgrowing my desk here. So I got like this big wood slab, like 85 inches or whatnot. So I'm like building my own standing desk again, using that and just kind of configuring it to what I need it to be because I'm like running out of space here. So just really wanted to put that project on hold till the new year. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. So I'm kind of documenting that process too, in case anybody else wants to like build their own desk and see exactly how I did it and how I'm kind of tackling cable management too, because that's a big, like my room is basically a fire hazard at this point. I got so many wires, some plugs all over the place. So it's like I really wanted to pay close attention and really give attention to detail to that type of stuff. So definitely something I'm going to be working on for the new year.
Yeah, man, that stuff's important. Like getting your office right. I know Adam, you like put up lights recently and stuff. Made your place feel nice. Yep. What's the difference? You loving it?
Oh yeah, dude. You gotta love where you work, man. You gotta love where you work. It's gotta feel like somewhere you're gonna spend a long time because that's exactly what you'll be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
I
too
gotta.
true.
Your sound paneling, did you get that like on Amazon? Because I need some of that too, because I get a lot of echo. Like my wall is pretty much right here, so even though I'm on a Shure mic, I still have to do a lot of cleanup on the back end.
I mean, you could hang like a quilt or something if you want to be an impinge. But I got this sound paneling from a studio that closed down. It was like a Craigslist find from a long time ago.
Yeah, I gotta do the
'cause-
same. Honestly.
Yeah, I found some stuff on Amazon, but I wasn't sure if you had like if any brands make a difference or if anything absorbs sound better than others, or if it doesn't
I
even
think
matter.
with the foam in particular, it doesn't really matter what you get because it doesn't really like block the sound. It's just like, the sound doesn't reflect back. Like you kind of reduce the echo, so to speak. In my opinion, I'm sure. Yeah, because when you pay more, you're just paying for a denser foam. So, but this foam, I don't know. The dude was really trying to get rid of it in a hurry, so I don't really know what the quality is, but it does do the job.
Have you ever done
Did
like
you
the
find
egg
out?
crates or anything like that?
I've been to studios that do the egg crates, and I
Yeah.
think they work. Honestly, something's
Oh,
always
really?
better than nothing when it comes to that. Yeah, sound reflection.
You said you think
Yeah.
they work or they don't work?
They do, yeah.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
something's always better than nothing. I mean, I've been in a studio where like the soundproofing was just like an immense amount of artwork on the walls. Like that doesn't that actually does contribute to dampening the sound.
Yeah, I'm looking at ways to clean up my office too for next year. I love that kind of stuff. I have a lot of crap all over the place, so I'm trying to do my best to organize it, and like the less stuff I see, I think the more I can focus. So I'm trying to clean it up as much as possible and hang some lights maybe, because I have to bust out the nice lights every time I film, and that's always a pain. It's like always like a day of filming. So yeah, I'm trying to rehaul the office. I'm also trying to rehaul like finances too, to be honest, because I don't have a good grasp on I'm about to say I don't have a good grasp on my finances. I've been way worse. But I really want to have a better hold on it, where it's like I can see exactly how much I have to put back into this, like to pay for editors or pay for help, because I really do need it next year. And I need to know how much that's gonna be in order to like not be stressed out, like, oh, I'm not making enough, or I gotta keep working so that I keep making money. And it's like, well, maybe I don't have to do that. Maybe I don't need to be as stressed out as I am about it. So that's one of my goals this during break, is to figure that stuff out. And then think about what I really want to make next year. I don't want to go into next year making the same videos. I want to mix it up. I want to innovate and do something different. Yeah, I'm really feeling something different. Whatever that means, I don't know. Does that mean I'm going to be making a bunch of pocket operator videos? Who knows? You know?
Yoga tutorials for a month. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. But we'll see. I think it just comes back to happiness. I gotta be happy with it all. So, I'm gonna be doing a lot of thinking over the break and taking the time I need before I come back, making videos, doing challenges. I gotta figure that stuff out. So,
well, let me know if you do any pocket operator live streams. I'll jump in for a jam session or something once I get it figured out.
Yeah, let's get together when you get yours. Let's get together and do a jam session. We'll go through we'll figure it all out so that we know the hardware, and we'll just have a good time. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, no, look forward to it. I've definitely been down that rabbit hole on YouTube of just looking at pocket operator, composers and seeing what people are doing with it. And it's been crazy just seeing everybody kind of daisy chain like a bunch of pocket operators together to make a full sequence. So it's pretty wild. And this guy I was watching last night was actually just hanging outside, sampling stuff. He had put it in the middle of wind chimes or put it up to next to a woodpecker, and he's just sampling all types of craziness and making songs out of it. I'm like, man, it looks a lot of fun.
Yeah, here, check this out. So Griffin from Corridor, he got me this little music box. So you can hear this. You recognize it?
Yeah, I'm not picking anything up.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
You can't hear that?
I can hear it. The stream can hear it. Maybe the people hearing you through Discord can't.
Here, this is maybe that gives it away. It says Spirited Away, right? So I took that and then put it on this thing, put it on the pocket operator.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then you can just add a bunch of stuff to it. So so much fun. So much fun.
Dude, I might have to get one of those. That sounded so cool.
Yeah.
They're not that much. They're like $60-$80, I guess, depending on the one you got. I got the Capcom ones, so I think they had a 2-for-1 is $150 for both of them. But
yep,
I just like Mega Man and Street Fighter, so just happy to get that soundboard on top of it.
Yeah, they're so sick. Adam, I know we lost your camera, but can you still hear us? Are you still in the chat?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, cool. We're gonna wrap it up anyway. I'm gonna take a small break, 2-minute break, and I'm gonna get back here and do the weekly challenge with y'all. But guys, I really, really do appreciate you coming in and joining me for the last stream. Mikhail, it's great to have you. Winbush, good to have you back. And Adam, it was absolute pleasure to have you join me, dude. Yeah, it was cool. It's been a crazy year. We've all been a part of each other's year. I think that's super cool, and it means a lot that you guys came in and joined me for this last stream. So thank you guys a lot, and best of luck wrapping up the year. We'll be talking, but yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, no, thank you for the invite, and nice meeting you guys, Adam and Mikhail. Getting to see you in person.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
100%.
Yeah, honor and privilege, y'all. Thanks for having us, Clint.
Absolutely, guys. We'll be chatting over the next few days. I mean, we'll be chatting forever. So I'll let you guys go.
Throwing up peace signs. You
I
can't
feel
see it, but yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, exactly. Something like what Mikhail did. Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, hang loose as well.
All right, I'll let you guys go. For everyone in chat, I'm gonna be right back, and then we're gonna get through the weekly challenge announcement, get those 5 winners, some honorable mentions, and we'll say goodbye. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you later. Have a good rest of your year.
All right, thank you. Take care, everybody.
Peace out,
Cheers,
guys.
y'all be well.
Later. Yo, what's up, everybody? We are doing it. We're doing the last weekly challenge review of the year of 2022. It's been 2.5 years of doing this, which is freaking crazy. It's been, man, it's rare that I look back, but 2.5 years of weekly challenges, that's freaking awesome. And you guys have kept this going. We just recently like hit the 100th one. I think we're on like 110 or something at this point. But you guys have leveled up so much over that time, and it's so cool to like be a part of that with you guys and see everyone leveling up, learning and growing together. That's the thing, right? It's great. It's better with people. It's definitely better with friends. All right, so let's get into it. First up, our first winner, I know he was in the chat, is Wondrous, and this is what was it? Out of Place, I think was the prompt. And dude, this is so freaking cool. Kind of reminds me of the, what is it, Armored Core 6 or something, that the announcement trailer was dropped. It's basically like Mech Warrior, the game. It looks incredible. Totally reminds me of this. This is awesome. I love your lighting. The way you color corrected this is super cool. You got the film grain going. And it feels very visceral. There's motion blur. It's center framed. It's huge. It's awesome. This reminds me of like the medieval version of a scene from dang, what was the name of that? Yakusei. It was a Netflix show with Lakeith Stanfield, and what was his name? Flying Lotus did the music. So cool. Yeah, it's like a bunch of samurai fighting robots and stuff. So congrats, Wondrous. You killed it. You knocked it out. Next up, we have, who is that? Dim Karyabov. Dude, this one's great. I love this. It feels, I don't know, I feel like I can touch it. I could reach out and touch it. I love the shallow depth of field. It looks like a fun phone background, actually. But it's like, what the heck? I love it. I love this so much. Yeah, your textures, your lighting, the way you color corrected it, I just love everything about it. I think you killed it. You did a fantastic job. And this might actually be the first time you won a weekly challenge, Dim Karyabov. So congratulations to you for winning. Super cool stuff. Next up, we have 3D Gala. Yeah, I was blown away at the photorealistic look you got going here. Your trees and the specular highlights on these trees. Dude, what? And this is Unreal Engine too. I'm blown away by this. Absolutely blown away. And yeah, there's some crazy sci-fi pyramid thing in the middle of this untouched valley. This is super cool, man. You killed it. And the camera movement is perfect too. It's very rare that I see photoreal renders like this of this level. So I was absolutely blown away by this. Congrats, 3D Gala. Next up, we got Marcus Seam. This one is freaking weird. This is definitely out of place. I think you win. What on earth is going on here? Some baby Teletubbies with some alien eggs and like a dance club. Yeah. Your animation's perfect. Your creepiness level is perfect. Very out of place. Your materials are great. Your lighting's great. The idea is absolutely absurd. Yeah, congrats on the win, dude. That's disturbing. And finally, we have, who's that? Scouty? This is great. So at first glance, you're like, well, what's out of place about this? You know, we see this in Marvel movies all the time. And the first thing that drew me to this was, of course, the render quality, the lighting, the atmosphere of this. Even the post-processing work is fantastic. But you said, I believe it was Merlin. Merlin was a magician. And I think somewhere in your description said that, like, lives forever. And you have this magician, Merlin, here, who is not in his time period. And I love that. I thought that was awesome backstory to this beautiful piece of art. So congratulations, Scouty, for winning not the last weekly challenge of the year, but it's the last weekly challenge on the live stream of the year. But we got honorable mentions to get into. Genzu. I'm trying to read. Yeah, I think that's Genzu. This was based off of an image that you found. Like, this is super cool. I love this, man. This is very beautiful. I love urban exploration for this exact kind of stuff. If I were to come across this in real life, I would be blown away. I'd be taking a million pictures of it. I'd be making renders of it. So you did a really, really nice job. I thought it was super solid on the foliage too. I think the only note would be, like that photoreal render, the animated one that we just saw, you're catching like the highlights of the grass and the foliage in a really nice way. So I would take a look at that, see if you can't catch a little bit of those highlights on your leaves. Next up, we got First Vault Dweller. Yeah, this one hits hard, dude. This one's sad. I must say, this one is very sad, but I don't know if you were going for that, but this one hits for sure. I love your color palette, and I love the simplicity of your composition. There could be some things that you work on, like trying to blend the seam between your rock assets and the sand, because technically it's not one big rock and it just hits sand. The one big rock breaks down to sand, so you'll see smaller and smaller rocks off of the larger source rock until you hit sand. So little things like that, maybe a few more sticks around or something. But generally, I really liked this. Watch out for the blown out sky. You definitely want to bring that down. But I loved it. I loved the color here, and I thought the actual the source material here, the story you have, is pretty crazy for out of place. Elliot is next. I mean, this is great. This is, again, just hitting me in that adventurous kind of spirit. I love urban exploration. That's one of the things I love so much about living in Georgia. Atlanta is just covered in trees. It's a very old city, right? So there's a lot of spots like this you'll find in the woods. So it really brought me back. And I'd say the same thing here. See if you can't catch some specular highlight on your foliage. You want to mess with the translucency. You can plug your albedo or your color map into translucency to get the sunlight reflecting through those leaves, and definitely try and catch some of the specular highlight on them too. So you can mess with your roughness values. If you add maybe 0.2, 0.3, you'll start to really see the highlights get caught there on the foliage. And of course, you do need to work the sunlight in a specific way, but yeah, see what you can do. Next up, we got Dylan. This one, okay, so this one, I get what you're going for. You got Pokemon cards at a poker tournament. Yeah, good use of the prompt here. You got the anamorphic lens, which you can see by the bokeh on the particles. They're stretched out vertical, so that means you got that anamorphic cinematic lens. You got the cinematic aspect ratio, but the only thing is the angle, man. I think you need to boom up a little bit and tilt down. It's hard to tell these are Pokemon cards, and I have no idea what is wrapped around that Magikarp card. I don't know what that is. So there's a little bit of loss of clarity on this one that you don't want people to ever be confused with what you're trying to communicate. Whether that be a scene in a movie or a single image, you want to try and communicate your idea effectively. So I just want to see a little bit more of that Magikarp card, and that'll sell it immediately. Next up, we have Bratique. Yeah, this one's cool. I just love the character, love the composition. You're backlighting these characters to bust out their silhouette, so you really tell who they are immediately. And you did a great job putting them in I don't put in quotes, a sci-fi environment. Really, it's just an office, but I think it's first off the fact that the horse is inside is what's throwing me off. And the blue, the bluish, cool color tone you have going on here does a great job. Usually in Westerns, it's all hot and warm, but you mixed it with the blue here. It just makes it feel cold, and you're just in a sci-fi office. And of course, you got the little time travel poster on the left for the story, which I think is great, but you did a great job. Next up, we got Bean Whipped. This one here. So this one I liked. I thought you did a good job with the rendering and everything and the lighting. I don't know if this one is as out of place. Like I of course get what you're going for, but to me this just seems like a fun dinosaur character hanging out and having a good time. I think we see a lot of cute, unique characters, especially animals turned into characters in 3D art nowadays. So it doesn't seem as out of place, maybe as you were going for. I don't know if there was like, if you put this dinosaur next to other dinosaurs that are normal dinosaurs, maybe you'd get more of that out of place kind of vibe. But I really do like it. I think your lighting is solid. Character is cool. Tubby Buddy is next. This one's great. I love the framing here. The lighting is freaking awesome. It actually does feel like a magazine ad or something, or a TV ad. The only thing that's throwing me off here is like the materials. You can see on the left side it's tiling a lot. Same on the right side on the rock structures, it's just the tiling material. And even the like the material and the textures on the like the flags of the boat. I forget exactly what they're called, but they're all stretched out, so I would definitely watch out for that next time. But otherwise, I love the sky you have is perfect. The lighting's perfect. I really dig it. Color's nice. Composition's nice. Game Factory. Yo, what's up? All right. I thought this was great. And immediately, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, this is definitely out of place. Yeah, it's a dude chilling in a bathtub in a graveyard. That's definitely out of place. You did a great job. You got this one out quick, too. I think you were one of the first ones to submit this week. So good work. Nice snowy little scene. I think you've been working in Unreal a lot. It's cool to hear, man. Really nice. Naz is next. So you went, you kind of took this on a different angle, which I really appreciate. I think your colors are really cool. I love that, like, I don't know, what would that be? Pink, purple with like a light blue. Again, I am colorblind, but I'm doing my best here. You get some like very almost pastel kind of colors. And your whole thing was like, if you think out of the box, then you're out of place, I think is what you wrote down. I thought it was an interesting take on the prompt. So I wanted to shout you out, and I thought you had a nice little scene here. Next, we have Metatrox. You guys really like this one. You guys voted this one up on the Discord server pretty highly. I dig the idea. Yeah, totally dig the idea. It's tough to do a rainy, wet scene like that with a lot of people. It's a lot of detail. But you did a really good job. Colored her umbrella a different color. And I wonder what it would look like if you actually had the people moving faster and lowered the shutter speed. So it was almost like just a blur of people, but she was standing there. I think it would draw the eye a bit more to your character in the middle. Kenny is next. Yeah, this one's cool. Like, you really took the story to heart here and did your best to communicate an interesting character in an interesting environment. So you have a bunch of soldiers, you said, at their new temporary outpost, and this character just felt very out of place. Yeah, I think you did a pretty good job here. It's an interesting take on it. It's a difficult take on it, to try and communicate all of that in one image, but it's very interesting. I thought you did a good job. I thought your framing's nice. I thought your lighting's pretty good. I'd probably try and work. I'd probably move the character back a touch so their feet aren't touching the very bottom of frame. You did a nice job framing them up with that board in the background. And I'd probably update their shirt and pant texture. It looks like rubber. So I'd see what you can do with like a normal map, some sort of knit texture, cloth texture. Next up, we have Jack the Hack. Yeah, okay, so this is a similar one than like the one we saw two pieces of art ago. This character is going against the flow. dressed carefree, contrasted with the businessmen going in the opposite direction. Yeah, I mean, this is good. And oh, dude, that's interesting. I just realized this. You tilted the level, the horizon line. You tilted it so that the businessmen are going uphill. They're going. It's an uphill battle, but this character is just coasting. I love that. That's a nice touch. Really good stuff. Jack Bowman is next. This one is cool. Immediately feels out of place, right? Underwater desk setup. I dig it. The thing that threw me off on this one was just the background. The shapes are confusing. It took me a while to realize what was a rudder of a boat and a whale. And I think you need to split those things up and make their silhouettes a bit clearer. The boat, yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know where the rudder begins on the top right. Like, I'm assuming it's the bottom of the boat on the bottom right of frame, and then like the top right is the rudder. Maybe you need to rotate it a little bit more so you see the full outline of a rudder, and then scale your whale down so like we can see it's a full whale. We get the idea of a whale, of a rudder on first glance, as opposed to having to search for it. But like I said at the beginning, I thought it was a really cool, immediate out of place render with the desk underwater. And finally, we have Ha Ha Ha. I think this is Alo, maybe, is what you go by on the Discord. I loved this one. This felt like a fun game that I want to play. I love the overcast lighting, the muted colors, the green, the cyan, with the red in there. I thought it was really nice, and there's almost like a low poly kind of a look to your cassette, and I dig it. I thought you did a fantastic job, so yeah, congrats to you guys. I think you nailed it. You guys did a good job. Congrats on all that stuff, on all the art, on the weekly challenge. We've been doing it for 2.5 years. That's a long time. Very long time. How's everybody doing? I'll hang out with you guys for maybe another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to get some food and eat it. That was nice. That was nice. I love Adam. Like I've been friends with Adam for probably 15 years, 16 years. If you were there for the stream, you heard he was the best man at our wedding. And Winbush, yeah, I've known Winbush for a handful of years, and we've got to go to different conventions together, different shows together for 3D. Hang out a couple times. Like he came over, we did some photo scanning together. We play games together too. He's just a great guy. And of course, Mikel Sotomonte. He's been on the Discord server for a very long time, since pretty close to the beginning. So you guys probably know Sotomonte pretty well. And he's been helping me with the streams. So it was really cool to have Soto on as well for the first time. Super cool. Logan, am I working on a movie? That's a tough question because I'm currently writing a movie, but I hadn't spent consistent quality time with the script in a number of months right now because I've been too swamped with the YouTube channel. And I'm not happy about that. Yeah, I really want to make a movie. I want to do a lot of things, but making a movie is such a big one for me, but it's so hard at the same time. But I also have to keep the channel going because that's my job at this point. Is how I'm making income. So yeah, one of my things next year is to definitely make more time for that and prioritize it, most definitely, because it's very important. This is very important to me. Edge, you say you love the stream. So glad you got up for it, dude. That's amazing. It is early for you right now. Yeah. Do I have any big goals for next year that I'd like to share? I have like hazy, blurry goals. Like I said, I want to prioritize making time for this movie. I want to prioritize a morning routine, which I think is part of writing, writing time in the morning when I'm not behind this computer. I really want to knock my morning routine out and get it nice. I want to set up my drum kit in the garage and mic it. So I can record some sweet beats and maybe do some music live streams. I don't know. We'll see. That'd be awesome. Um, what else? You know, I want to figure out new stuff to do next year on the channel. I don't want to repeat the same year. Like, I know we've been doing tutorials, Unreal Engine. Like, I'm not trying to switch it up entirely. I honestly don't know what the answer is yet. I need time to think about it, and I hadn't had any time to think. The whole year, I have had zero time to think. And I've just kind of been going off of, you know, what I can do quickly and well, which right now is Unreal environments. It's crazy. Like, at the beginning of the year, I was learning all that stuff. And at the end of the year, I feel like I have a really nice routine for that. And I'm not to say that I'm like ready to move on to the next thing and ditch Unreal environments, but yeah, I guess it's like what Winbush was saying. Like, we always want to do more. We always do want to do more. But like Adam was saying, I need it to be intentional. I want to think about why I'm doing the things I'm doing. So I have a lot of thinking to do over the break. Scratch, you're asking, do you ever reach a point where you know your limit or your potential? Are you always left wondering? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do wonder, like, what would it be like if I had pursued a music career instead of video? Like, what kind of music would I be making? Or if I didn't do this at all? It was funny. It was very funny. When I was at Camp MoGraph this year, I was more than happy to just be carting people around on golf carts. I was part of the welcome committee. So when you guys show up, I'm like, what's up? Hop into my golf cart. I'll give you the tour of the grounds, and I'll drop you off at your room, and I'll be making runs back and forth, all day. And I loved it. Oh my goodness, I loved it because it was truly a break for me. I got to be off of work. I got to be off of the computer. I got to be off my phone, and I got to just drive this golf cart around and play music that I liked and talk with people, and that was amazing. But then I thought about it, and I was like, what if this was my life? And I was like, oh no. What if I was just like a camp counselor? What would that look like? And it's crazy because it's like a part of me could be that. That could be me. Where that's it. That's all life is, just being a camp counselor. I'm like, dang, that'd be crazy. I'm not saying I'm going to be a camp counselor. I was just imagining. But in terms of like, have I hit my, let's see, what was the question? Do you ever reach a point where you know your limit? Yeah, I've reached my limit of what I can do on my own on this channel this year. I can't do any more than what I've done this year by myself. And I didn't even do it all by myself this year. I still had Sotomonte's help with the live streams. I had some of the moderators help with getting the community challenges up and running. I had help of an editor, Justin. He helped me with the parts of, some edits here and there. He's helped me with the brand integration edits. That's been helpful. I got a business manager for the first time who's helped me with the emails and whatnot and dealing with the clients and scheduling and negotiating price and what we can do and all that stuff, and that's been so helpful. So I've gotten a taste of what it's like to have help, and I know I need more of it next year. So I'm trying to figure out ways to open up opportunities and for other artists, whatever that means. I'm still like I said, I've had no time to think. I got to think about all that stuff over break. That list, right? It's a big list. So I might be reaching out for editor help. I might be reaching out for like graphic artist help for thumbnails and that kind of stuff. We'll see. And as far as reaching potential, like I can always be doing more. Yeah, I can always be doing more. So I don't think I've reached my potential yet. There's too many areas to grow in. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Let's see. I'm going through and reading your guys' stuff here, and we'll wrap this up soon. Andra, how long will I go on judging the weekly challenges? Will I pass the judge role on to someone else in the future? Well, I can't judge them for the rest of my life. I know that. I'm open to it, but I'm also like wondering, I want it to be right. I certainly want it to be right. And I want the value. I want you guys to get good value out of it and to still have fun with it. So that's also another thing that I want to do over the break is everyone on the Discord server. We've been doing this Discord server for 2.5 years, roughly. And I hadn't asked you guys, like, what do you like about the server? What don't you like about the server? How can it be better? What do you use it for? Like those kind of things. That information is also valuable to me, and I want to build a list of questions to ask you guys to get feedback and kind of craft the server. I'm not going to say around that, but it's valuable information to just make it better for everybody. So that's another thing that I got to do. It's on the list. Absolutely. A lemon speedrun challenge channel. Maybe that's what we'll do next year. That'd be crazy. Yeah, Sotomonte's crazy. He's young and he's in Houdini. He's working with Nuke. Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with Sotomonte, and like I learned stuff from him. It's crazy. I know he's listening to everything I'm saying because he's literally producing the stream right now. But like, yeah, I learned a lot of little things from Sotomonte, and it's cool. It's like, yeah, he's like, wait, he's very young, and he's on it. He is on it. So I think I'm there's so much value in that, and I'm like, that's freaking awesome. Yeah, super cool. But guys, I think it's time to call it. I got to get some food. Y'all have been amazing. Thank you so much for an awesome year. It has been a crazy year. It has been a very eventful year. We've done 2 community challenges together. We've done a weekly challenge every single week this year. And you guys have come back and stuck with it. You came back and you watched the channel and you keep the channel going. You keep it growing. You guys are helping me pay the bills. You're helping YouTube push my videos out there on the recommended algorithm. Like that certainly would not be able to do this if it weren't for you guys. So I thank you so much for coming back and hanging out every single, I guess every 2 weeks at this point. But keeping the Discord server live and active, y'all are amazing. Thank you. I got one more video coming out this year. All right, it's pretty much going to be on Christmas, like December. I might as well give you the good info here. Hold on. 2 weeks from now, I'll make an event on the Discord server of when I'm going to release this. But it's going to come out on Saturday, the 24th. It's my final Unreal Engine environment breakdown of the year. I'm recreating a render from a hike I went on. It was like snowy, foggy, windy, icy. It was crazy. You actually got a glimpse of the art at the last 8 seconds of the countdown of this stream. So if you want to see it again, you can go check it out there. But I'm going to be breaking that whole thing down. It's a loopable render too. So I'm going to teach you guys about looping renders and how you can easily do those in any software. Of course, I'm using Unreal Engine, but yeah, that's the last video of the year. I'm cranking on. I just filmed it. I filmed it yesterday. last night, and it's all cozy. It's got like the fireplace. I got a fireplace going on the laptop, and then I also got like the Christmas tree in the background. I spent hours lighting it all nice, so I'm really proud of how that that talking heads portion came out. But yeah, look forward to it. I hope you guys have a great break. Take a break, please. Be kind to yourself, and I will do the same. I'll see you guys in 2023. But yeah, like I said, Saturday the 24th, y'all got the last video of the year. Have a good one. Thank y'all so much. I'll catch you guys soon. Yeah, thank you. You guys rock. Peace out. Later.